Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World. Today we're exploring the musical soul of Tennessee. Whether you're heading to Nashville, Memphis, or the Smoky Mountains, we've got the don'ts, food, culture, and everything you need to know to enjoy your Tennessee adventure. So let's get started with 100-ish hours of Tennessee. Today we're on Nickajack Lake here in Tennessee, and today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting the state of Tennessee. And my first don't for you is if you're going to be coming to Tennessee, especially in the fall, and it gets gorgeous with all the leaves changing, it is phenomenally gorgeous. But I got to tell you, in the fall, don't confuse the locals with construction workers, especially on Saturdays, because that is when the volunteers are playing. The Vols, the University of Tennessee football team, they love them here. Like, they are psychotic fans. I know here, in the SEC, everyone loves their local state team, but Tennessee takes it kind of to the next level when it comes to the Vols, okay? So if you hear a few rousing renditions of Rocky Top, just know it's okay. It's not the construction workers, that's just the locals singing and dancing and enjoying themselves in all the orange glory that they are. Now, my second don't for you has to deal with Jack Daniels. And for those of you who don't know, Lynchburg, Tennessee is where Jack Daniels, the whiskey, is actually made. The distillery is here in Tennessee. But my don't for you when it comes to Jack Daniels and other alcoholic beverages is don't expect you'll be able to enjoy, or I should say, don't expect you'll be able to buy alcohol all over the state, because there's a number of counties that are dry counties in Tennessee where you can't buy alcohol. Now, you can have alcohol, so maybe you want to bring it with you, but you can't buy it. So if you're going to be planning your vacation, check beforehand to see what you need to do and what you should bring, just in case. And going along with that Jack Daniels don't, another don't I have for you is don't think it's just Jack Daniels. There are a number of smaller distilleries throughout the state, so you can enjoy a tipple of whiskey from many different distilleries throughout the state, okay? Now, my next don't for you is don't think that Tennessee is the same throughout the state. Now, if you're going to be out on the east side where the Great Smoky Mountains are, Appalachian area, you can go there with Pigeon Forge and Knoxville and go to Gatlinburg and go out Dollywood and hike in the Great Smoky Mountains and do the natural waterfalls and the caving and all this kind of stuff. It's gorgeous, but that's the east side. You have that, but then in the center, you can have the plains where Nashville are, where it's pretty flat. And then you go to the west by the Mississippi River and Memphis. It's very much three very distinct regions of the state. So remember those 3 stars on the flag, 3 different regions, and you can have a different vacation in each one of those. And I say you can have a good vacation in each of those different regions because my next don't for you is don't think it'll be quick going from one side of Tennessee to the other. If you're going to go from Memphis, which is on the Mississippi River on the very, very west, and you're going to go all the way over to Pigeon Forge and go have some good times there and go in the Smoky Mountains, you're looking at a 7-hour drive. I mean, going from east to west or west to east when it comes to Tennessee, it took us longer to drive through the state than it was to go across Nebraska, all right? Now, if you're going north-south, it's not too bad, but just don't think it's going to be a quick drive across Tennessee. So another thing I'll say about driving, if you're going to be driving the Great Smoky Mountains in the eastern part of the state, you do have some windy roads when you want to go and see some of the caves, you want to go see the natural waterfalls, the natural water slides, this kind of stuff. I will say is don't just take pictures while you're driving. They have a lot of pull-offs. So to go to the pull-off, take the pictures, take the videos, go do a hike. You can do that when you're there. So don't feel you have to be driving and worried about the driving and taking pictures. No. There's plenty of spots for you to get off the road and enjoy the nature when you're here. Because honestly, Tennessee is gorgeous. And the thing is, it's not just outdoor beautiful lakes like this. You have caves. I mean, there's over 9,000 caves that you can go and explore. You want to go to Ruby Falls, Chattanooga, just right down the way. You go to Ruby Falls, which is a waterfall inside a cave. Yeah, it is gorgeous when you are here. So get out. Don't forget to bring some good hiking shoes so you can go out and enjoy the nature in the state, especially on the eastern side, because you're really going to miss a lot if you don't do that. Now, another thing I think you should know is when you come to Tennessee, don't forget there's actually 2 time zones in Tennessee. So if you're at Knoxville or Chattanooga on the eastern side of the state, that's Eastern time zone. But if you're going to be in Nashville or Memphis, that's Central time zone. So maybe that's why the people drive so crazy, because I think the next don't I have for you is don't freak out about the driving when you are in Tennessee, because the locals, they're like NASCAR drivers. They just go, 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 go. And they go so fast. And wherever they go in the US, they're driving super fast, except when they park in the left lane and go like 65 in the left-hand lane. Because for some reason, people in Tennessee love left lane driving. So just pack your patience when you're driving through Tennessee, because there are a lot of spots where you have a lot of traffic in the hills and stuff, so it can be a bit much. But just know, don't get too upset with the local drivers. And I think that leads into something I really need to tell you about when we look at Nashville. And that is, don't rip all of your hair out when you hit Nashville and their horrible traffic. Look, Nashville has grown by leaps and bounds the last 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, it's incredible the growth it's had, but the infrastructure hasn't really kept up with it. So when you're taking I-24 and you're coming down, you're going through, do expect to have some backups. And if you're going through downtown, you're like, oh, this isn't too bad. Just wait. Eventually when you get to the, past the downtown area, things go back into like a 4-lane highway and you're like, whoa, shouldn't this be 6 or 8 lanes still? No, and so the traffic will really get you. And downtown Nashville, where they have 1-lane roads, can be a bit frustrating. So if you're gonna be staying in Nashville, ask your hotel, what's the best way for you to drive in to get to the parking? Now, when you're talking about Nashville, there's a couple other things I really need to make sure you know is, one, don't mess around with Nashville hot chicken. Now look, what I like to tell people is, Nashville hot chicken isn't just kind of like chicken thrown with some Tabasco sauce on it. No, it's not buffalo wings. Okay, what it is, it's fried chicken, and then they have the mix and the cayenne pepper that's in there and everything. It's really hot. Like, it is like, ho, and it has some kick, okay? So don't think it's gonna be some easy, Popeye spicy chicken sandwich. I like that. It's gonna be easy. Oh, no. Nashville hot is next level up. And if you go to Hattie B's or any place that has Nashville hot chicken, get it. It is phenomenal. And another thing I want to talk about when it comes to Nashville, because I have more videos on Nashville, you can check those out, but I really think you should know is, don't think Nashville is just country music. Now I know, the Grand Ole Opry was there, and the Country Music Hall of Fame is there, and we think this is all country stuff, and you go down Broadway with all the musicians playing, you think, I hear a lot of country music here, it must be a big country place. Well, yes, Nashville's big for country music, but it's not just country music, okay? Nashville's kind of become a hub for a lot of people from around the US moving to the Mid-South. And it's really more of a hipster haven than it is a country music kind of core anymore, okay? So it's definitely a different vibe than you're expecting when you come to Nashville, all right? Now, since I'm talking about the cities, I got a couple things I want to talk about with Memphis, and we have don'ts and shocks of Memphis videos too you can check out. But if you're going to be in Memphis, and you're going to be on Beale Street, and you'll see the guys and the kids doing the backflips and the jumps and stuff like that, if you're taking their video, if you're taking their picture, don't forget to tip them, okay? That's how they're making their living. That's how they're making money. So don't forget to tip them when they do that. Now, another don't I have for you when you're going to Memphis, because that's where Graceland is, where Elvis lived, right? And don't dive sticker shock when you go to Graceland, because, wow, the whole Graceland experience can be incredibly expensive for your wallet, especially if you're taking a family there. But if you are an Elvis fan, it is well worth it, okay? Because it is a whole complex. Because you have Graceland itself, but then there's across the street from Graceland, I mean, you can tour the house, right? But then across the way, they have like all of his cars and all this other memorabilia from him. It is really cool, but my goodness, the sticker shock when you're there, it's bad. Now, another don't I think I should relate to Memphis is, don't think that Tennessee barbecue is just dry rub ribs. Now, don't get me wrong, Memphis and dry rub ribs from the Rendezvous, fantastic. But you can have a lot more than just dry rub ribs when you're in Tennessee or in Memphis. The wet barbecue, I like Central Barbecue in Memphis when I'm there, but anywhere you go throughout the state, you have that Memphis sweet sauce. Oh yeah, you can have that, but you can have wonderful barbecue throughout the state. So don't think it's just dry rub ribs. There's a lot more to it. But I think the biggest don't I have for you when you're going to Memphis is, don't skip out on the National Civil Rights Museum. Honestly, one of the most moving museums in the US. When you go there, you learn about the history of the Civil Rights Movement. It's actually in the old hotel where Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. I mean, I still get goosebumps just thinking about going there. Go. You will learn so much and it will change you, okay? So if you're in Memphis, you have to go there. Now, people think, Beale Street, we're gonna party. Yeah, party. But first, go to the National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis. It is unbelievable. Now, another popular area where people go is by Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, the Smoky Mountains where there's Dollywood and all this kind of stuff. And it is really a fun place to be. And the thing is, a lot of people don't know about Pigeon Forge, or they don't really think much about it. What you have to realize is that is a super popular place for people from Tennessee and this part of the US to go on vacation. So if you're looking to go to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg in that area, Don't forget to book your accommodation ahead of time. I mean, if you're looking in the high summer months, book that in the spring or the winter just to make sure you get some good spots if you want to get a rental, if you want to get a hotel or a resort kind of stuff, because they do book out, okay? When you are there, don't you dare diss Dolly, okay? Dolly Parton is a national treasure. She's from here in Tennessee, and honestly, she won't say anything bad about you because she's too awesome for that. But don't think the locals won't give you a little backhand if you say something bad about Dolly, all right? Because she is amazing. All the stuff she does in the community around the state, it's just she's a fantastic woman. So go to Dollywood, listen to her music, and just like all of her like stuff she talks about, she's so great. And she's honestly, I guess yes, there's Jack Daniels and Dolly Parton, the two greatest things that have come out of Tennessee. Now, another thing I want to talk about, because now that I'm looking around, I remembered those natural waterfalls and the natural water slides. When you're going hiking, if you're going to be by rivers or streams, don't try to do the natural water slides right after it rains, because there'll be a rush of water, so it can be a little dangerous. We were here a few years ago, and Jocelyn and Caleb were going up, and Jocelyn walked out to go down, and then the water rushed through and actually swept her down. There was lifeguards, okay, so they helped her out, but swept her down. Luckily, somebody had grabbed Caleb. I mean, it can get a little dangerous, so do pay attention when you are going to be doing some of the outdoor stuff. And the thing is don't think you're always going to get cell service when you're in the Smoky Mountains. I mean, it's gorgeous when you're driving through, but remember, hills and valleys and stuff, cell signal doesn't always go through. So if you're hiking, let people know where you're going to go. Now, another don't I have for you is don't pass up the festivals and live music here in Tennessee. Look, I've been coming to Memphis in May for decades, okay? The best man at my wedding, he actually lives in Memphis. We've been coming down here for years. And the whole month of May, Memphis has Barbecue Fest, and it's got music, bands playing, but there's all kinds of great things throughout the state. You got Bonnaroo, which is a big, huge music festival, art and music festival, but it's more like party, rave, party time festival. But there's a lot of festivals and fairs and things that go on in Tennessee, especially during the summer. So if you can go, but if you can't get to a festival, go listen to live music. Whether it is on Broadway, when you're in Nashville, or Beale Street, when you're in Memphis, or other places around which will have live music. Tennessee is actually one of those states that really is good for music lovers, just because there's a lot of history of it here, and it's actually played lots of places. And then I want to finish off with this one. Don't overlook the hospitality and friendliness of the locals here in Tennessee. Look, you're going to get fed when you're here, and you're going to get fed a lot and fed some more when you're here. Don't say no. Be like, yes, I understand that belts have more holes that I can go the other direction in, because the food is so good here and there's so much of it. But the hospitality and the kindness of the people here in Tennessee make it a wonderful place to be. That's why you're seeing tons and tons of people actually moving to Tennessee. I mean, no state income tax probably helps as well. But honestly, you really want to think about it and be like, wow, these people are really, really nice. And don't take that nicety and that accent as people aren't intelligent here. Don't discount them just because someone might have an accent or they're overly friendly to you, because they're just good people when you are here. So that bless your heart, a lot of times actually means it in the good way when you are here, all right? And so I hope this helps you know a bit more about some of the don'ts you should know before you do come here to Tennessee. If it is winter and there's any hint of snow, don't go out, don't drive, don't do anything. Stores will be bought out, just stay home. Because it's not that they don't know how to drive in snow, it's just that there's not infrastructure for snow removal here in Tennessee, or at least in most parts of the state. So just a heads up for that. I mean, not really an issue right now when I'm here, but something to think about. And today we're here in Nashville, Tennessee at the Grand Ole Opry. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting Nashville. And I know Nashville is famous for country music, but my first don't is, don't think you need to bring your cowboy boots when you do come here to Nashville. And there's a couple of reasons why. I mean, well, unless you're a bachelorette party, then I think it's obligated to wear cowboy boots when you come here. But honestly, one, you have a ton of stuff to see here in Nashville. So you have a lot of walking, a lot of getting around, a lot of standing and waiting in line to get into restaurants. And most likely you're not wearing cowboy boots every day. So new cowboy boots, plus lots of walking, plus hot weather equals really painful feet. So there's that side of it. But also on the other side of it, look, you're not going to see a lot of cowboys when you are here, all right? You're going to see more hipsters and transplants when you're here than good old-fashioned cowboys with cowboy boots, okay? But don't get me wrong, if you want to buy cowboy boots, this is the place to be. There are so many cowboy boot places to buy, like where you can buy boots, you'll be fine to pick them up here. And those transplants I was talking about, I think that's another don't I need to talk to you about, and that is, don't think you're going to meet a lot of born, bred, and raised people from Nashville when you are here, because this city has just had a huge influx, like wave after wave of people moving here from all over the US. I mean, honestly, when I was down by Franklin, I half expected to see a sign saying, coming soon, Peoria, Tennessee, because so many people from Illinois have moved here. But you go around and you can see some of the stress that's put on the infrastructure here, the shopping, the lines you have. So have a heads up, the people you meet here, a lot of them aren't from here originally. But don't worry, they'll let you know where they're from originally to be like, but now I live here in Nashville, because they're so proud of the city, because it is really great. And if you do meet a local, ask them what their favorite hot chicken place is. Ask them what their favorite barbecue place is, because they're glad to share the original kind of ideas, the original feelings of Nashville, because honestly, all these people that have come in have really changed the city. I mean, it's not just sweet tea anymore. You hear unsweet tea ordered quite often. And I will be honest, the friendliness that you had in Nashville that was known for, it's still there, but it's not as high as it used to be because there's just so many people here. And I think all those people and all the tourists that are coming here because of the cool city, the transplants, it leads to another don't I have for you. And that is, don't expect to have a stress-free driving experience when you are here in Nashville, because with all those extra people, the roads, the infrastructure, it's not really set up for it. Now, I will give it to them. They're working on it to increase the lanes and the highways and making 24 bigger and doing things. But honestly, whether it's one-way streets, tons of traffic jams on the highway, frustration with it. Oh, I can't tell you how many times I'm driving from the north, coming down. I'm like, I drive by the city on the right. You're like, oh, that's a beautiful view. We're past the city, we'll be fine. But all that growth has really been on the south part of Nashville, and then you get the south of Nashville, and then you just sit in a traffic jam forever. And you're like, oh, but it will be a little frustrating because you're really gonna have to drive when you're here. Because that's my next don't for you, is don't forget you're gonna need transport, because public transportation here in Nashville is not going to help you very much, okay? And the thing is some of those really good restaurants, the hot chickens like Princess Hot Chicken and Hattie B's, or you wanna go to Loveless Cafe and get their amazing biscuits, you have to go there. You just have to go there. You don't get there by bus. You can't walk there. It's not on Broadway. You've got to drive out to them, okay? Now, one little happy thing is there's actually the Assembly Food Hall on Broadway, where some of the famous restaurants have brought in like little kiosk versions of their food, so you get a taste of it, not a full menu. About 80% of the food taste as well, but it gives you a nice taste when you're there. But you're gonna need to drive out to these places. And you can kind of understand why you need to drive out to some of these places, because honestly, Nashville is kind of like Nashville and then a bunch of little towns that have really grown up, like booming, growing fast, and adjusting that's kind of tough, okay? So I'm just gonna give you a warning on that, because honestly, don't think you can get all the great food just downtown, all right? So you're gonna have to go out. You wanna go to $5 Bakery and get their donuts. Oh my gosh, imagine a croissant and a donut had a perfect little baby. Yes, the Loveless Cafe biscuits, you're gonna have to drive, okay? And I think with going to those places, I do need to mention this don't worry about waiting in line. It is well worth it. Whether it's Loveless Cafe, Princess Hot Chicken, anywhere you go, it's worth it for the line to get in to eat that fantastic food, okay? Because honestly, I know they call it Music City, but it really should be called like Food City, Food and Music City, but it doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well. Oh, and by the way, another don't I have for you is you don't have to call it Nashville Hot Chicken. We're already in Nashville, so you can just call it Hot Chicken. And you can get great hot chicken everywhere. And I wanna say, locals, tell people the best places to go get hot chicken down below in the comments, because all the locals have their own favorite places, and so you can go experiment. There's even hot chicken tours you can do when you're here in Nashville, because it's that popular. And I think a don't for that hot chicken is, don't think the Nashville hot chicken is super hot the first bite. What's great about Nashville hot chicken is that yes, it's spicy and hot, but it's flavorful. And if you watch any videos on YouTube about Nashville, they'll show people eating Nashville hot chicken. And it's always starting off with, you know, oh, the first bite, wow, this is good, this is really good. I don't feel any spice. And then halfway through, they're like, oh, I'm starting to sweat. Then by the end, they're like, oh my God, my lips are so hot, I don't know what to do. FYI, that's why you have the white bread there. You take the white bread, eat that. That helps with the heat. But it's a gradual growth of intensity of that heat. So just don't be surprised if you get the tenders and you only get like 3 of the 4 tenders done because your mouth is tingling at the end. Or if you get the hot chicken, just don't feel bad, or at least be ready for it. Another don't I have when you're here in Nashville when it comes to food is, don't feel that you're too old to go back to the cafeteria. There are tons of great cafeterias you can go to when you are here and get your meat and threes. And what's cool is they'll rotate. So Friday will have different food than Monday, then different than Tuesday. So you can go back and have a lot of great stuff. Just get in line, pick your meat, pick out 3 sides, you're good to go. This is one of my favorites here. Now, you remember how I said there's no real public transportation, so you won't see too many buses? Well, I should say there's not too many public buses you'll see. You will see a ton of tour buses. And my don't for that is, don't worry about what kind of tour you want to take when you're here in Nashville. They have one for you, okay? When I came out of the Country Music Hall of Fame, at the street corner, no joke, you had the Redneck Comedy Bus Tour go by. There was a country music bus tour that went by, and the little bike tour where people are drinking on the bikes thing, that all went by. I mean, you have the Gray Line bus tours. There's so many tours that go around here for you to enjoy that pretty much anything you want to do, there's probably a tour for it. And that's what's funny is when you see the number of buses going around town, you're like, wow, if they just kind of made those like public buses as well, this city would be awesome for public transportation. But it's not. But you can get plenty of tours when you are here. So another don't I have to tell you when you're looking at those tours, don't forget you can actually get your own tour bus and drive around, and you'll see people partying on the buses. You'll see them with hot tubs. You'll see them with music, DJs, all kinds of fun stuff. So just know there are options out there for you if you want to come here with some friends and have a fun time, because everybody seems like they're having a good time in those buses. See, look, there's another one over there. They're all over the place. Oh, and I really want to stress that when you do come to Nashville, don't think that it's just Nashville hot chicken is the only food here. There's so much other great food that's here. On Jocelyn's channel, we actually have a video just on the eats when you're here, whether it is some of those great donuts at $5 Bakery, or you're getting some of the awesome barbecue or catfish when you're here. I mean, there's a lot of other food to enjoy. Oh my God, you get great steak and oysters when you're here downtown. I mean, it's not just the hot chicken. Though the hot chicken is so good, you might want to eat it every day anyway. And there's another thing I should warn you about something you might do every day, and that is don't have too many bushwhackers when you're on Broadway, because there's a lot of people that have maybe too many bushwhackers when they're here. If you're not sure what a bushwhacker is, that is an adult beverage. It is rum and Kahlua and ice kind of mixed together. It's basically like an adult Slurpee, and people have a few too many because they are really good. And the thing is, with the heat you have here, it really cools you off, so people have a bit too much. So if you're on Broadway, especially at night, just be careful with the drinking and the people that have been drinking, because it can get a bit crazy. Not just the bachelor and bachelorette party stuff, but other people that are there can have a little bit too much of a good time with you. So it's nice to get hit on. I've been hit on by many people while I've been here, but sometimes you're like, okay, that's good. Just you had enough, because you're gonna be down on Broadway listening to the live music when you're there, because there's so much live music up and down Broadway that you're literally any time of the day and night. It's open until 3 a.m. You're gonna enjoy the music when you're there. But I think a don't I have to say is, don't think Broadway is one, the only place to go out, but also two, the only place where you can listen to live music. I mean, honestly, if you like country music, you're better off leaving Broadway and going to other parts of town, because when I've been on Broadway, I hear a lot more Southern rock stuff than I actually hear country music. So even though the Country Music Hall of Fame is right there, doesn't mean you're gonna hear a lot of country. So go out, leave Broadway, go out into different parts around the city. There's live music all over, okay? It's called Music City, not Music Street, Music City, and you'll hear live bands. We hear the Annie B band, and she was awesome up there playing, and she's playing around town, and you can actually meet some of the bands. There's lots of great places to see them, from small clubs to big arenas. You can have great music when you're here, but don't think it's just on Broadway. I mean, heck, if you're going out, even going a few blocks to Printer's Alley will give you a completely different vibe than you have on Broadway. Now, going back to that Country Music Hall of Fame, one, don't worry if you're not a country music fan. You will enjoy going to the Country Music Hall of Fame. You will see more guitars than you've ever seen in your entire life. It's multiple floors. You take an elevator up, and you got this, and you kind of floor by floor, and you learn about the history of country music. You see the guitars, the stories. It's actually a well done, Hall of Fame for music. I actually enjoyed it. I'm not the hugest country music fan, but I did enjoy the Country Music Hall of Fame. But a don't I have for that is, don't get overwhelmed by all of the ticket options they give you when you go there. Because yes, there's just entrance. There's entrance in going to Hat Show Prince, and then there's entrance in going to RCA Studio B on Music Row. Or you could, there's just songwriter stuff. It's like they have more tours than George Strait has #1 hits. Okay, they don't have that many tours because he's got a lot of #1 hits, but you get my idea. So make sure you read through which ticket option's right for you, so you can get the most out of your visit to the Country Music Hall of Fame. And if you do love country music, one thing I gotta tell you, or if you just love music in general, if you get a chance, don't pass up a chance to see a show at the Ryman Auditorium or here at the Grand Ole Opry, because these places they're not huge venues. I mean, the Grand Ole Opry is a nice sized one, but what's cool about it is you have like world-class talent that will come and play in the Ryman or come play here at the Grand Ole Opry, and you're in a much more intimate setting. So you're not watching them in a stadium, you're watching them up close. And so you get kind of this like goosebumpy like closeness to the bands that play there and the artists. So if you get a chance, go. And you can actually just tour them by themselves to see where they play. So that can be a fun thing to do. Now, leaving our music behind and our eating behind, another don't I have for you is don't forget to go out to Centennial Park and go to the Parthenon. Look, the Parthenon, you know the Parthenon? The one in Athens, there's the Acropolis, the Parthenon's on top. Yeah, they rebuilt that here at the end of the 1800s, okay? And you can go in and there's like, you know, there's art gallery in the bottom, but what's amazing, which is like, I was just like, wow, it actually made me more impressed with the real Parthenon in Athens, is you go in and they have Athena there, a statue of Athena holding Nike. And Nike, the Nike statue is actually taller than me. Yeah, it's insane. I mean, you gotta go just for that. It's worth the price of admission just going in to see that. And then the park that's there is just gorgeous. They've redone it recently and it's just a nice place to be and relax. You can chill out with your friends. And what's cool is Vanderbilt University is right by there. So you can go and enjoy the campus as well. So you can have a nice time. And my last note for you when you're coming here to Nashville is don't pass up the history when you're here. Look, Nashville is the capital of Tennessee, so you have all the state museums that you can visit when you're here, the state capitol you can visit, but probably the most important historical place to visit is the Hermitage, which is Andrew Jackson's home. So you can go to his home, you can see his actual furniture, you can see where his enslaved people lived. I mean, you get the whole story of him, and you get the good, you get the bad, and you get the crazy about Andrew Jackson when you're there, but there's a lot of history you can take in. And I guess if you like other American history, you can also go to Antique Archaeology. You know, the American Pickers people, they have a store here you can go visit, all right? Now, I know right now a lot of the people from Nashville that are watching this video are probably upset with me because I haven't mentioned this, and that is, don't forget to get out in nature when you are here in Nashville, because you have some really cool state parks you can go hiking, you can bike in, you can go and enjoy the nature, because there's some really gorgeous nature around here. You know, if you're going down to Franklin, which is a super cute town, you can do that. You can go visit some state parks as well. I mean, heck, if you want to go to Radnor Lake State Park, you can hike around the lake. It's gorgeous. The Warner Parks you can go visit. I mean, heck, if you don't have the time or the transportation to get out to those, you could just go to Cumberland Park, which is literally take the pedestrian bridge over the Cumberland River from Broadway, and there's a park there you can enjoy. And the Greenway throughout here, dude, you can bike the Greenway when you're here. There's so much outdoor activities in town and out of town that you can really get out and enjoy. And also, that's why it's not a good idea to have the cowboy boots, because they're not really good for the hiking, okay? So just FYI. So I hope this helps you know a bit better what to do and not do when you come here to Nashville. And yes, it's usually a lot more happening on Beale Street, but it's a Sunday morning, so that's why it's so quiet. And the thing is, when you come to Memphis, there's so many great things to do. Yes, party here on Beale Street. Go see one of the best zoos in the US. Go see the museums. Graceland, you can go there and see Elvis's home and see all this crazy stuff there. But the thing is, when you go places, there's things you don't do as well. And so today's video are the don'ts of visiting Memphis, all right? And since we're here on Beale Street, I'll start with the don'ts of Beale Street. And the first don't of Beale Street is don't worry about walking around with your beer. You can walk with your beer up and down Beale Street, no problem, okay? And if you're not from the US, you know, the US, we have some pretty strict alcohol laws, especially they're called open container laws. And if you walk around with a beer or a wine or something like that, you can get in trouble. But here on Beale Street, you don't have to worry about that. Now, having said that, my next don't for you is don't drink past the barriers on Beale Street, at least in public or out on the street, because there's kind of barriers on each end of Beale Street, and that's where you can drink. Anywhere in between, you can have your drink, walk around, no problem. But going beyond that, well, you might have a little words with the police officers when you are here, so just know that. Another don't I have for you is don't walk around with glass bottles, okay, or glasses or anything like that. The alcohol has to be in a plastic glass, okay? And the thing is, most of the bars here will serve you in a plastic cup, so it's no big deal. But if they don't, just ask for a plastic cup, they'll pour it in for you, or you'll pour it in yourself, and then you can go walk around. And what's cool is when you come out, there's all kinds of music, entertainment, people doing all kinds of cool stuff out here, so you can be entertained while you finish that beer. Because my next don't for here on Beale Street is don't try to take that beer from one bar to another bar, okay? So what you have to do is when they have that cup, just come outside, drink your beer, finish it, and then go to the next bar. And there's trash cans around to throw things in, no big deal. Some people make it into the trash can, some of them don't, but do try to keep it a little bit cleaner because it is a really cool thing. Now, my next tip for you when you do come here is when you're out walking about on Beale Street, you're gonna see these guys doing flips down the road. Dude, it is one of the cool things you wanna watch when you are here. Now, my don't for that is, don't take a ton of pictures and videos and not tip them. They'll walk around with a bucket, give them a couple bucks, you know, for the entertainment value of it, because it is a really cool thing. So don't forget to tip them. Another don't I'll have for you is don't forget to tip your waiters when you are here and the bartenders, because when it gets busy, having tipped your waiter a bit better does make a difference in terms of your wait time to get that next good drink when you are here. And oh, by the way, don't be scared to try the local beers here. I really like Ghost River and Wiseacre Tiny Bomb, man, that was really good. There are some good microbrews and local breweries here, so don't be scared to get those when you are here. Now, my next don't is one of the things you might want to look at. Is kind of a safety thing, but will worry tourists. Is there are a lot of beggars that will be around Beale Street and downtown. Don't let them bother you. Just say, hey, look, man, I don't have any money. I'm sorry, and you'll be okay. It's all right. They're pretty, I mean, most of the time they're pretty fun and cool, but just know you can just say, hey, man, I don't have any money, which is actually true because most of us are paying with credit cards and stuff, so you don't always have tip money, but you want to have, I mean, it's just one of those things that don't let it get to you. I guess some other safety don'ts I have for you. If you're going to be parking downtown or anywhere, do not leave anything of value like that people can see in your car. I know that's a typical thing anywhere in the world, but here you do really need to pay attention. Another don't is if you're going to be parking in some of the parking garages, make sure you pay attention to their hours. So don't just drive in. Make sure you look. A friend of mine and I had that problem. He's a local. We didn't check it out. We actually got stuck in there. Luckily, the guy knew we were stuck in there and he left like the back door open, so we had to like do Mission Impossible to get the car out, but we did, and so do have a heads up for that one. Another don't I have for you is don't play with your safety when you are here. Memphis does have some crime issues. Now, down here in downtown where the tourists are, you're okay. I mean, late night, you take the same precaution in any big city at late night, but do have a heads up for that. But in general, we've had a good time here, so I haven't been too worried about stuff, but you do have to pay attention, okay? Now, the next thing you might ask is, hey, how am I gonna get around town? Well, one thing you gotta realize is there's a nice trolley system here in downtown and throughout Memphis. I mean, not everywhere in Memphis, but in the downtown area, and you can take the trolley, and it is kind of a cool experience. But my don't for the trolleys is don't forget to have exact change. Look, the trolleys, it's like a buck, okay? So have $1 or have some coins, you can get on, pay and go, no problem, all right? For farther afield stuff, something you should know is don't think that all the attractions here in Memphis are downtown. That's one thing is a lot of times we end up driving here so we can go out to places like the zoo. I mean, you go see the pandas at the zoo. It's a wonderful zoo they have here. Go out to Shelby Farms, you can see that. Heck, go to the Stax Museum for the Music Museum for those things. Getting out to Graceland, you gotta drive out to there and things like that. So don't think it's just downtown. It does pay to explore out. Also the restaurants, you know, the Gus's Fried Chicken here downtown, yeah, it takes forever. You know, there's a long line during lunchtime, or Central Barbecue or things like that. You don't realize is, don't think there's only one Gus's or one Central Barbecue. There's actually multiple around town. So if you drive, you can go where there's more space and shorter lines and still have the great food. So that's really cool, okay? Oh, but don't think there's more than one Gibson's. There's just one Gibson's, and it's right next to another Gus's. So you'll be okay that way. You can have chicken and donuts at the same time. I mean, it's heaven. That's what we did, so you'll enjoy that. And the thing is, I talked about Central Barbecue because one of the things I gotta tell you is don't expect the locals to agree on which barbecue place is the best. All the locals have their own places, whether they like the Rendezvous or they like Central Barbecue, or you know, there's just so many around town that you're like, how many barbecue places are there? Well, I talked to the guys at Memphis Tourism. They said there's 117 barbecue joints here in town, and everybody has their favorite one. I've really enjoyed Central. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I talked to the Duck Master at the Peabody, yeah, he's like, dude, Central's the bomb. I mean, it is awesome, okay? And the people there are freaking hilarious, okay? So you'll have a good time when you eat at Central. But the thing is, one thing I'll tell you about the barbecue here is don't expect it to be sauced up. It's dry rub on the ribs is the way to go. Now, you will see some sauce out there and some will put sauce on the ribs and stuff like that. But in general, don't put sauce on it. Get the dry rub ribs. Oh, it's fantastic. Also, don't freak out if they put the coleslaw on top of your pulled pork barbecue sandwich. That's just how they roll here, okay? But don't worry, you'll love it anyway because it's fantastic. I guess another food thing, which always we were visiting with a lot of people here, and they're like, where are the vegetables? Don't forget, here in Memphis and in the South, macaroni and cheese counts as a vegetable. I'm not joking. I mean, macaroni and cheese counts as a vegetable, okay? So that's kind of funny. Some other don'ts I'd say with the food when you are here would really come down to, don't come to Memphis on a diet. Look, whether it's the barbecue or the soul food, or there's a lot of international food around here, you have a lot of great places to eat. You know, if you're getting tired of barbecue, you want to get a burger, hit up Huey's. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 locations around town for you to enjoy. You are going to eat extremely well. So don't wear those skin tight clothes, because they're not going to be skin tight by the end of the time you're here, all right? Now, some other things you might want to think about is, look, Memphis is such a big food and music scene that's where you're really going to come for, but also some really great attractions, okay? So obviously, if you want to kind of put attractions and music together, you know, Sun Studios, Stax Museum for Music, I mean, there's the Rock and Roll Museum, there's all kinds of really cool stuff to go check out for the music scene. So don't come here without liking music. But in terms of going to Graceland, Elvis's hometown, or Elvis's home, there's some don'ts I have there for you. One, if you're not a huge Elvis fan, sometimes you might be a little shocked about the prices, okay? But don't let the prices turn you off. The whole complex, it's not just a house. Don't think Graceland's just a house. It's a complex. And in the complex, they have his jumpsuits, his cars, his memorabilia, his stuff from the army, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff there. Yeah, we got to see his golden guns. I mean, it's just nuts. So don't think that only Elvis fans will enjoy Graceland. I mean, anybody that likes crazy stuff will enjoy it. However, I would tell you this. If you're gonna go there when it's not busy time, don't get the VIP pass, the ultimate VIP pass, because it doesn't really pay off in the end. There's a few extra things you can get, but for the amount of extra money for it, I don't know if it really paid off for it. So if you're a casual Elvis fan, the normal ticket will be fine. But if you want to go through there quickly and it's high season, it's really busy, then maybe look at getting the more pricier VIP tickets. But otherwise, you're gonna be fine with the other ones at a much lower price. I mean, it's still expensive, but it's not as insane expensive as the VIP ones, okay? And just like you don't have to be an Elvis fan to enjoy Graceland, you also don't have to be a kid to enjoy some of the kids' sites here in town. I mean, for me, the zoo here in Memphis is one of the best zoos in the US. They've done a fantastic job with it. I mean, I've gone there for events. They, like in the spring, they have a brew and zoo or something like that, where you go and they have beer tastings in the zoo, and there's all kinds of events there. But the zoo is just spectacular, and they've got pandas and stuff like that, and you can enjoy it as a kid, but also as an adult, okay? Another one of those, it's not just for kids things, are the Peabody Ducks. Look, if you go to the Peabody Hotel, they have ducks in their center fountain from 11 in the morning until 5 at night. And the things you want to do is realize is, look, when they march them in, like red carpet, marching the ducks at 11 in the morning every day, okay? And it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or if you're a local person or you're a tourist, you all geek out like a little kid going, oh my God, there's ducks walking down here. And it is kind of one of those things, so don't miss the ducks when you do come, especially when it's their intro. I like when they come in better than when they leave at 5, so be there before 11. Also, don't expect you're gonna get right up front, especially on a weekend, unless you get there really early, because 45 minutes early, because people are already waiting like an hour beforehand to see these things, so you will have that. Oh, some don'ts for the ducks when you do go there, because you can go to the Peabody lobby any time of the day. It is a beautiful lobby. They got a nice bar there, stuff like that. Don't feed the ducks. Don't pet the ducks, and don't throw any wishing coins into the fountain, okay? So just don't do that. They asked me, like, hey, don't forget to tell people that. I'm like, hey, no problem, man, because, I mean, they're trained professionals, okay? So another thing with the Peabody and the Bass Pro Shop with the Pyramid have something in common. They both have great views of the city, okay? The thing is don't feel like you have to pay the $10 to go up into the Bass Pro Shop lookout point to go see a good view of the city. Now, it is a good view, and if you're there, hey, you want to do it because it was cool. But the thing is, you can go up to the Peabody on their top floor where their Duck Palace is for free and get a great view of the city there. So don't feel you have to pay the $10 at Bass Pro Shop. Now, I'm not saying don't go to the Bass Pro Shop, okay? Because you really have to go to the Bass Pro Shop. And don't think it's just a Bass Pro Shop where they sell stuff for fishing. It is an insane experience. My local friend said, oh, you have to go and see the Bass Pro Shop. I'm like, dude, I've been to Bass Pro Shop, who cares? Oh, no. This is next level. It's built inside their former like indoor stadium, indoor arena, which was a pyramid. And in there, they have a shooting range, they have a bowling alley, restaurants, there's a hotel in there, but the whole thing is like themed like a swamp. So there's like boats floating in the lakes there. There's fish that are there. They have freaking alligators, live alligators in this thing. It is an insane experience, so don't skip out on it. Don't be like, well, I don't go fishing. This is like, what the heck kind of stuff. So definitely do that when you do come here. And the thing is, I ended up at the Bass Pro Shop because I was asking some locals and my buddy, what are some of the things we should do here? And they were more than willing to share. So my next stone is, don't be afraid to ask the locals, not just where to eat, but also what to do. Because the people here in Memphis are super helpful. They have that Southern hospitality thing. So you do have a question, where is something, or where should I go, or where should I eat, or what should I see? Don't be afraid to ask. They will be glad to help you out, which is really awesome you come down here. Whew. Now we're getting towards the end of our don'ts of Memphis. And my next don't for you is, don't complain about the heat and humidity between June and August. Look, it's hot and humid. It's a horrible combination. But you know what? They've got air conditioning inside the bars so you can enjoy yourself, okay? There's air conditioning in Graceland so you can have a good time and not melt. But realize you're gonna melt when you come here in the summer. So don't complain about it. It's been like this for, I don't know, millions of years in this area. So make sure you're ready for that. Stay hydrated, okay? And don't be afraid to drink the tap water here. Memphis has really good tap water, so you're gonna be fine, so you don't have to spend the money. So bring like your water bottle with you, just fill it up at your hotel when you come out, you'll be okay. And you'll see a lot of the bars, a lot of places will just have a big water jug there that you can just fill up on your own and go back and forth. Also, some places don't think that you're gonna be served right away, especially for drinks. They might just have you go up and get your own water. Just have a heads up for that one, okay? But don't complain about the heat and humidity. It's just the way it is. I mean, it's 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm already dripping, okay? And that's not just because I'm overweight. It's hot as heck here anyway, okay? And talking about times of the year, probably the best time to come to Memphis is actually May. The weather's really good and they've got crazy awesome festivals going on. Memphis in May is this amazing festival where it's music, the World Championship barbecue is going on. Every year they have a different country, they have a theme on, so there's a weekend about that country, there's music. It's just an amazing time to be here. But the thing is, if you're gonna come from Memphis in May, don't forget to book a few months early, because you're not gonna be able to roll up and get a place on the weekends in May because everything's booked out. You might have to stay, an hour out of town or 45 minutes out of town and pay downtown prices. So definitely book early for May. A couple other little things I'd say. Late night here downtown, don't go walking out by yourself. Use your usual street sense kind of stuff when you are traveling, so have a heads up for that. Also, if you're gonna do the walk across the river, if you're scared of heights, you might want to think a little bit about it, but it is kind of a cool experience because you can walk out there and there's a little line in the middle, so Arkansas is on this side and Tennessee's on this side. I mean, it's a nice little tourist thing to do, but I don't know if you want to do it if you're scared of heights, okay? And the thing is, if you don't want to do the walk, if you still want to enjoy the bridges, they actually have a light show on the bridge and the bridges are lit up at night, so that's kind of cool. So you can at least have that, so have a bridge experience without walking over that other bridge that makes you go, oh my God, am I gonna die? It's not that bad, okay? Oh, and also, don't be afraid to rent the bikes that are here. They have all the bike rental services. There's like 60 stations around town at a lot of the really good tourist sites. And so you can rent a bike for an hour there, ride around, ride on the bridge that way, go over and come back. I mean, it is a really cool thing. So don't think about not doing the biking because it's nice and flat here, except when you go down to like Mud Island and stuff like that. If you're gonna go down to the riverfront or Bass Pro Shop, but one hill up and then flat, you're fine. Anyway, I hope this helped you know some of the don'ts. Yes, and I realize some of these are actually do's of coming here to Memphis.
Hey, I'm Jocelyn, and this is
Mark.
And he's going to help me today with our Eats of Tennessee video. We are here at the Nickajack Lake in kind of the middle of Tennessee. This is one of my favorite little spots. We always take a little break here, but while we're in Tennessee, we got to talk about food.
Yes, and there's a lot of good food when you are in Tennessee. I know, Jocelyn, one of your favorites is?
One of my favorites is Memphis dry rub ribs. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever been to Memphis and not eaten my weight in these ribs, y'all. They are so good. They've got lots of flavor and they don't have to be all sticky and gooey with stuff. You can get sticky gooey stuff but I like those dry rub ribs a whole lot.
Yeah, and the probably most famous place for it in Memphis is the Rendezvous, but you can get it at a lot of other places. And if you are in Tennessee, it's not just dry rub ribs. There's a lot of other really good barbecue when you're here, but the de facto is
it's the dry rub ribs, right?
Memphis,
but there is tons of really great barbecue all over this state and all over the South, right? But
yes.
One of Mark's favorite things is in Nashville.
Yes, Nashville hot chicken. So what they do is, if you get it right, it'll be like a half a chicken and they just fry the whole dang thing up. But they use cayenne and some other spices to really make this hot chicken. I mean, it's spicy, and a lot of people think it's just going to be like, oh, it's like hot wings. No, it's not like
at all
that
like
at all.
a hot wing.
It's not at all like a hot wing. It's phenomenal, and they'll give you like a couple pieces of white bread, and you'll eat it that way. You'll see a lot of sandwiches around the state.
Well,
like
and
that
let's
too.
talk about that. There are a lot of like fast food places like Crystal's. We went to Crystal's. The kids wanted some Crystal chicks, and they have Nashville hot. They're okay, but they're not Nashville
Yeah,
hot.
like if you're Nashville, I mean, Hattie B's is the most
Hattie
famous
B's
one, but
is
there's
the
other
place
like
to have
Princess.
it,
You can
right?
go there and get that, but
Yeah.
like you'll get the hot chicken, Nashville hot chicken, lots of places. And it's become more popular throughout the U.S. But yes, if you're in Tennessee, you're in Nashville, you got to do the Nashville hot.
Get some Nashville hot chicken.
Yes.
But let's move on to my favorite thing in Tennessee, which isn't really food, but it's Jack Daniels.
Well, some people use it as food. It gets them through the day.
There are times when it's dinner. No. Anyway, but the Jack Daniels distillery, and there are a ton of distilleries around here. This is the capital of whiskey with an E, right? You'll find all sorts of stuff, but for me, it's the Jack Daniels. I love Gentleman Jack. That's my favorite. But you really, like, as you're touring around Tennessee, you've got to stop at a distillery and check some of these places out. They're really historic, even if you're not a drinker. The science behind it and the history behind all of the distilling,
The history of all the distilling is quite
the
impressive.
distillation is the word that's trying to come from my mouth. Anyway,
and you can learn a lot on
there's
their
a lot
tours.
of really interesting things, and so I think you should just absolutely check that out. And if you happen to like whiskey or bourbon, you should totally do that.
Yeah. So next thing I want to talk about is, since I was born and raised on the Mississippi River, and if you're anybody raised on the Mississippi, another famous thing you got to eat is catfish. Fried catfish. Now, Jocelyn is not a fan of
catfish.
it. I grew up eating this as a kid, and if you're in Memphis or you're anywhere where there's tons of fish around here, they're going to be catching catfish. So get yourself some fried catfish. You will enjoy it, even if she won't. And the thing is, you can get a fillet, you can get the fish. Sometimes they'll make like fish fingers out of it too. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it, but I'm a catfish kind of person. It's what the fish I had as a kid, so I'm good there.
He can be good there, and I'll be good with, not catfish.
Well, I know there's something we both are good with: side dishes.
Ooh, side dishes. Let's talk about meat and threes.
Yeah, meat and threes, big in the South, but big here in Tennessee.
Tennessee particularly. So you order a meat and three is order one, whatever your meat is, right? And then 3 sides. So
not just one, not
mac,
2,
what?
but 3.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese is a good
right?
one. Collard greens, actually, if you're in Tennessee, collard greens is huge here. They have great collard greens. I would go with that. And then
collard.
Pick whatever you want for the third one, because it's nice because you get 3 choices. So you get your favorite, your second favorite, and then that potpourri of like whatever else there could be.
Take your potpourri. Anyway, but the meat and three is a great way to experience a lot of different dishes all in one sitting. And usually they're not massive portions when you do a meat and three, depending on where you're going, right?
Well, but when you take it all together, it is quite massive.
It is because, it can kind of be a splitter, right?
Yeah.
So maybe agree with your partner, whoever you're traveling with or something. Maybe agree on the 3 things or 2 of them, and then split things up, right?
Yeah, because portion sizes in Tennessee can be quite Mark size versus Jocelyn size. So there's that. But if you're just driving through and you want to hit up like the locals' favorite fast food place, Jocelyn talked about earlier, Crystal's. Crystal's is the place to go.
Is the thing, right?
And they have these little tiny burgers, the Crystal. It's just this little tiny slider burger like this.
They're like 1,000 times better than White Castle. We had this huge discussion in our car today about how much better Crystal's is than White Castle. Not to put White Castle down, but Crystal's is pretty good, right?
Crystal's is better.
And their chicken's
great. We had what? Yeah, I think we had 15 of the little tiny chicken ones.
Between 4 people. And I didn't, let's.
Yeah. Maybe not that, but there was a lot.
Sweet tea.
Yes.
They have great sweet tea and ices. At least, I don't know if the ices are always there, though, because I don't remember those when I was in the South.
Well, they got them when you are here now.
Anywho.
So that's the go-to kind of
right?
local.
It's like a local grown kind of fast food place. So let's talk about sweets. Number one.
She's the super sweetest thing here in Tennessee,
So
by
not
far.
true. I'm kind of sour.
But remember the sweet tea.
Oh, right. So sweet tea, it's a thing all over the South, and Tennessee is not to be excluded from that. And let me tell you, it is nectar of the gods. Sweet tea is something that you have to have, and if you don't like sugar, I'm real sorry.
It's true.
That's all there is to it.
But what if I want to drink another liquid?
Oh, well, let's try this. RC cola and a moon pie.
Yes.
All right, I'm a cheese ball. So RC colas and moon pies are a thing here, right?
Yes, in a lot of places in the South, and you'll
Yeah.
see. Like we were in South Pittsfield, South Pittsburgh
Yes,
for the
South
Lodge.
Pittsburgh. Oh, the Lodge Factory store, which is so
and they
much
actually
fun.
had it. You could buy moon pie and RC cola already together.
Yeah.
For them to know, moon pie is wafer
Cookie.
It's a cookie,
marshmallow cookie dipped
covered
in
in chocolate.
Or they have the yellow ones. I'm not really sure what those are
that's
dipped
banana
in.
one. You want to go old school moon
Yeah, you
pie.
got to have the original real thing,
Yeah, 'cause
and it's worth the calories. I think
It is
yeah.
worth it. Take my word for it.
Although
It's
I
worth it.
usually split them because
we have
I
children
can't
and
do
they're
that
horrible.
much sugar because I'm usually loaded up on sweet tea.
Yeah. No, another sweet thing you can get when you're here is a goo goo cluster, which is marshmallow, caramel, nuts, all covered in chocolate. You know, because you gotta.
'Cause why not?
Because why not? That's another tasty treat when you're here. And I know we mentioned the banana versions of the moon pies, but anywhere you go in the South, but Tennessee does a good job, is
Banana pudding.
banana pudding.
Oh my gosh, it's like grandma made.
Yeah.
So often you find really, really good. I'm like all these little roadside places. I mean, not those, like Cracker Barrel probably has it, right? Like
Yeah.
those kind of places. Chains will have it. You really want to get it at like a local place, and it'll be like grandma made, and you'll be really happy.
Yeah, like your barbecue place off the side of the road. You're like, should we go
that's
there?
the place to get
That's
it.
where you
Yes,
go get it. You
should
get your
go there.
barbecue there, and you get your banana
Yeah,
pudding.
absolutely. So, and that you can also get a meat and free in one of those places. I'm telling you, roadside places in the South are the place to be. And so I hope that this helps y'all decide on what to eat when you're in Tennessee.
Today we're back. We're here in... No, not Athens, Greece. That is a Parthenon, but that's not the Parthenon, Greece. That's the Parthenon here in Nashville, Tennessee. And today what we have for you are 10 things that shock tourists when they come here to Nashville. And yes, the replica of the Parthenon with, Athena inside holding Nike is pretty shocking and cool. But that's not one of the 10 things I want to talk about. I might allude to it, but that's not the things that really get you when you're a tourist when you're here. Because I'll be honest with you, the first thing that shocks you when you come here, especially on the weekends, is the bachelorette party insanity on the weekends. You will see more pink boots and pink cowboy hats and people screaming and having a great time and celebrating marriages coming up with the bachelorette parties here. This is the place, and you will see them all over in big groups of 20, 30, 10, 5, however many friends they have coming with them. It's crazy. So if you see them, go and say hi, get a drink, get something for the bachelorette that's getting married, but the bride-to-be. But it is hilarious, just the shocking, like, wow, the bridal kind of parties, the bachelorette parties going around on the weekends here. Like, you'll be shocked how crazy they can get. So just be aware of that, okay? And that kind of leads into the second thing that's going to shock you when you're going around is when you see the party buses. Yes, the buses that are driving around the downtown area, on Broadway and around there, and you'll see like, hey, that's a bus with people drinking and in a hot tub and booze and all kinds of crazy stuff on there. Yeah, they do that here. And here's a little hint. You can actually go rent one of those buses for you and your friends as well if you want. But it is kind of funny the first time you see it, like, whoa, there's a party bus, and there's another party bus, and there's another party bus. And they can be different themed ones, but just know you might be a little surprised when you do see them jamming away, cheering to you while you're walking as a tourist around seeing some of the sights. Now, I realize not everyone is going to take a party bus to enjoy music and craziness, right? Some people would just like to be on Broadway and enjoy it there. And I got to tell you, one of the things that's going to shock you is that the music plays all night long and during the day. That's the shocking part. Live music is a thing here in Nashville. That's why it's called Music City, and you'll have live music all over. And no, it's not just on Broadway, throughout the city and then throughout the area. If you're going to some of the suburbs and stuff, you'll get live music. But when you're on Broadway, the party goes all night long, like to 4 a.m. The music will be playing, like Annie B Band. You can go hear her play. You can see all kinds of great stuff. But even if you're not a night owl, a little bit older now, you're like, I want to enjoy my music during the day. They've got live music during the day as well. So go enjoy lunch with some great music when you're here, and you'll be surprised like how much music you can get, because it is really, really cool. Probably the best part of coming here. But if you're going to be having lunch here, I think another shock you need to realize is how the Nashville hot chicken burns. Because it doesn't burn like you think. A lot of people, when they come to Nashville, you should know is Nashville hot chicken is a very much a specialty of Nashville. It's this hot, like, roasted chicken or hot chicken. I mean, it's just fantastic chicken, some white bread on there. Oh my God, it's you have to have it. Whether you're Hattie B's or Prince's. I like the Scoreboard actually by the Grand Ole Opry. There's tons of places that have it, but when you have one, you have to realize it's not hot and spicy the first bite or the second bite, but as you get going, the heat builds up, and by like when there's like a third of the sandwich left or a fourth of the sandwich left, that's you're like ha ha ha. That's when you get the heat because it builds up, and that can be a little shocking for the tourists when they come here. Okay. Oh, also I should tell you is don't be surprised if the best hot chicken places aren't on Broadway. Now there's a food court there that has, you know, Hattie B's by it, there's a Princess in there, but for the real deal, you gotta have to go out of Broadway. But you can get good hot chicken, good Nashville hot chicken everywhere, but just be ready, because the burn is a slow burn to get to here, but it's a fast burn when it comes out. Anyway, moving on to the next thing that kind of gets tourists when they come here is how much country music there is, but also how much not country music there is. Because you think of it, you're like, yeah, Music City, right? So the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Ryman Auditorium, the Grand Ole Opry, it must just be country here. No, it's not. You have so many people that have moved here, and I'm going to talk about that again later, but there's so many people that have come here and brought so many different types of music that you can really enjoy all kinds of music. It's not just country. I know it sounds crazy, but it's not just country music here. But I'll be honest, even if you're not a country music fan, going to the Country Music Hall of Fame is well worth it, because it's done very, very well. I actually like it better than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I'm more of a rock and roll guy, but they've done a fantastic job there, so definitely check that out. And you know, one of the things that brought a lot of this music is you have to realize that Nashville has become a hub for a lot of young people and a lot of families actually moving to this area from all over the South, the Midwest, all over the country coming here. This place is booming. There's just so many more people, and the shocks from that I'll talk about later, but the whole scene that's coming here, whether you want to say the hipster movement, which is kind of old, the millennials that came in, but there's just so much here that it's really a hub of young people, which is really cool. So you have that really great vibe. So if you're going to be like in East Nashville, you go to the 5 Points there. It's kind of a younger area to have some fun there, or you can go to 12 South District. I mean, there's a lot of places you can go to kind of get that millennial vibe. So you stay away from the bachelorette parties, you stay away from, you know, that kind of craziness there, and the country music. You can have all kinds of stuff when you're here, but they have really had a big impact on the city and the areas around, because when you're going around, you'll see this isn't an old city. There's a lot of young people that have moved here that have really, you know, with the restaurants and the bars and the clubs and the shopping and things, you will notice that influence here. And one of the things is all those people moving here made one of the things that wasn't really good about Nashville even more shockingly bad, and that is the traffic. I mean, the traffic, whether you're 24, 65, or on the back roads, or going to Franklin, or you're going to wherever. I mean, Murfreesboro. I mean, the traffic here just sucks. Okay, I want you to know that. Give yourself extra time. If you're in the downtown area, you know, there's a lot of one-ways. It can be quite frustrating. And the potholes, oh my God. You'll be shocked how bad the potholes are. There's actually a program here. There's like a fund, or the city has like a fund where for all the people getting their cars destroyed by the potholes, that they're paying back to fix the car. So if your car gets destroyed by one of those potholes, do look it up. I just found out about this because, my God, we were on 65. We're talking like this deep potholes on the line, so do be careful. But man, the traffic here totally sucks. So rush hour times, plan your dinner around that, because if you're going to stay in one of the suburbs outside, like we're staying in Franklin and we're driving in, and so we came in at 3 and we're going to stay here for the night, because I don't want to deal with the traffic going back at 6 or something like that. So just be prepared for it. And another thing to be prepared for is the allergy bowl of hell that is Nashville. See, what you don't realize is Nashville's kind of like in this bowl. And for some reason, in this bowl, all the pollen and allergy stuff kind of stays in there, and you can't seem to get away from it if you're here in the spring. So here's the thing. You might not think you have allergies. Come here in the spring and you'll notice a sniffle or a sneeze or a cough. it does happen. I mean, I was walking around earlier today and I'm like, why is my nose running like crazy? What's going on here? Yeah, the allergy stuff in the spring, yeah, bring your Benadryl so you can really enjoy these things without watery eyes and noses going, because yeah, it can be a bowl of allergy hell here in the springtime. Now, another thing that shocks people that come to Nashville is most people, when they think of Nashville, they think of just the music, but they're surprised by how much culture there is here as well. I mean, if you go to the Parthenon here, we're in Centennial Park, and you go to the Parthenon, and inside, like I said, they have, Athena's there. And it's huge. It's really cool to see, but this is the capital of Tennessee, so you have state museums you can go to. Back behind there, you got Vanderbilt University. You can go check out the campus there. Going to see the homes around the area. There's just beautiful neighborhoods too. But the thing is, there's museums, there's culture, there's all kinds of other stuff. The Hermitage, you can go out to. Andrew Jackson's home, you can take a tour there and do that. So there's a lot of stuff you can take in. The Grand Ole Opry, the Ryman Auditorium. I know that's music based, but that's a culture thing too. And the Country Music Hall of Fame. But there's so much culture, so many things. It's not just, drinking a bushwhacker on Broadway with the music, that sometimes people forget that. So you can have a great time in Nashville. This might be a surprise, a shock. You can have a great time in Nashville without even visiting Broadway, okay? So just have a heads up for that. Though I do recommend going because it is fun. And the thing is the culture stuff is not just, historic stuff in museums. There's also great green spaces all around the area. So if you want to do hiking or canoeing, biking, there's a lot of fun stuff to do, okay? So definitely don't just be stuck in town when you're here. And then the 10th thing I think I really need to talk about, and things that'll shock you about Nashville, especially if you used to come here 10, 20 years ago, is just how much this huge influx of people into Nashville has really changed the vibe of the city, the feel of the city, the price of the city. It's made it tougher in a lot of ways because housing, the prices have gone up astronomically. The driving and the traffic has gone up astronomically. The friendliness has dropped astronomically. I mean, don't get me wrong, Nashville's still a fun place and it's still, the people are friendly, but with all these people coming in, when you have all these new incoming people and all the tourists that come here, it puts, people get smushed together and they lash out. I mean, there's sometimes stuff going on Broadway at night you might want to be careful of, right? But just realize with this influx of people, that traditional Nashville you knew of 10 or 20 years ago has not completely changed, but it definitely has a different vibe than it used to. So that's why I recommend people coming back, because I was here last year, I was here 5 years ago filming as well, and I've seen the difference even in a couple years, how things have changed, and you'll see that here. And if you get a driver or you meet someone that's from here originally, they'll let you know some of the differences that are here. Okay, so just be aware of that. I mean, I'm sure some of the locals you're on here, put down some of the things you've noticed that's changed, aside from the insane housing prices and just prices in general going up and the traffic getting crazy. But I just think that's something important to know, because people are shocked because it used to being such a friendly, great city, and it still is a great city and it still is friendly, but you'll be shocked how it's not as friendly as it was just because there's so many people that have come here. So I just think people would want to know that. That's why it's important to book your hotels ahead of time, Airbnbs and VRBOs or rentals. You want to book those ahead of time too, especially on the weekend, and especially if you're going to be staying in some of the suburbs you want to go to, like Franklin. There's not a lot of hotels, it's just Verbos, and you have to think about that. But I just want to give you an idea of some of the things that might shock you when you come to Nashville. It's a fun time. I've come back, like I said, again and again and again. And as you can see, they're all having a great time here as well. And today we're going to talk about are some of the things you need to eat when you do come here to Nashville, because this is definitely not just a music city, it is an eating city as well. And the most famous food that you have from Nashville, which is spread all over the US now, is Nashville hot chicken. Don't worry, here you don't have to call it Nashville hot chicken, you just call it hot chicken. But what it is fried chicken that after it's fried up, they kind of dredge it, drizzle it, dunk it, depends where you go, in this kind of cayenne pepper sauce. It is so good, and yes, it is spicy. And I will warn you, your first few bites, you won't notice the spice. But then after a while, you're like, that's a little hot. That's why they give you the white bread underneath, so that'll help with the heat, okay? So just have a heads up. And there's tons of places you can get it when you are here. Two of the most popular places are Prince's and Hattie B's, but honestly, you can get great hot chicken pretty much all over towns. So you locals that are watching, put down your favorite place to eat Nashville hot chicken, just so the people that come here can enjoy your favorites, because it is a must. Because it's not just hot and spicy, it's actually tasty and hot and spicy. Now, the second thing I think you really need to have when you are here, and it's going to take you some time to get it, but go to Loveless Cafe, get their biscuits, because that's the must, and any other food they have there, whether it's the country ham, the fried chicken, any of the southern fare that's there. And the thing is, it's a little bit of a drive out of town, but it's worth it. And when you get there, you're probably gonna have to wait a while because it's actually kind of a small location, but it's worth it. Our friends Sandra and Charlie, when they come to visit us in Illinois, they go 45 minutes off the highway just to go to Loveless Cafe, wait for 45 minutes to get in, eat, and then 45 minutes back to the highway to come up and visit us because it is that good. So Loveless Cafe is a must when you're here. And another thing you probably want to have when you are here in Nashville, if you're getting tired of the hot chicken, because there's more food than hot chicken here, barbecue, okay? The ribs here, pulled pork, smoked wings. You can eat good barbecue all over town as well. So just ask a local you meet, or somebody that's pseudo from here, because there's a lot of transplants, what their favorite place is, and they can give you some good advice for some really good barbecue. And I know barbecue's a southern thing, but there's another southern thing that's all throughout Tennessee, and that is meat and three. If you're not sure what meat and three is, you pick your meat, whether it is, you know, fried catfish or fried chicken or pulled pork or ribs or whatever. You get 3 sides to go with it. Maybe you want mac and cheese and coleslaw and more mac and cheese. Well, I like mac and cheese, obviously. Baked beans, potatoes. There's so many different options. The corn, I had fried corn on the cob, so good. But that meat and three thing is something you're definitely gonna see coming around. So grab it. If you're downtown, you can get to Arnold's Country Kitchen. That's kind of like a go-to place to really get some really good southern fare, but get that meat and three when you're here. So there's so many places you can grab that meat and three. You'll see a lot of cafeterias you can go to, which is, you know, a line you pick out. You say, I want this meat, and they'll have the sides you pick from, and they'll have alternating like food every day. So make sure you see what they're gonna have on offer so you can get the best of the meat and threes when you're here. I highly recommend this place. It is awesome, so definitely check it out if you're gonna be downtown. It's easy to get to, just a few blocks from the Country Music Hall of Fame. And I did just mention this, but I think it's also important to say that another thing you can eat when you're here in Nashville is actually catfish, and you can have it blackened, you can have it fried, you can have it grilled. Honestly, fried catfish is the way to go. You can get the fillet, or you can get like little like catfish fingers for a starter, but that's something you can have. As Joss would say, it's not for everyone's taste because catfish has a distinct flavor, but I grew up eating it as a kid, so it's all good to me. Now you might be thinking, Mark, okay, you got us some foods, but what do we drink to wash things down? Well, sweet tea obviously is a big thing here, and unsweet tea unfortunately is becoming more popular because you have a lot of people that have moved here. But sweet tea, they do a good job with that here. If you're looking for some adult beverages, obviously Tennessee whiskey. I mean, you're 90 minutes from Lynchburg to go to the Jack Daniel's brewery, but they got local distilleries here you can go see. But probably the one you'll see a lot of people having a few too many on when you're on Broadway with the music and stuff are Bushwhackers, okay? If you're not sure what a Bushwhacker is, it's rum and Kahlua. It's basically an adult, not milkshake, but like an adult frosty kind of thing that you'll drink. It's super refreshing. I mean, it's super hot now, and yesterday I was sweating bullets, and I had one to kind of cool off, but you'll see those quite a bit. And the thing is it's morning time here, and I'm thinking about what I want to eat when I'm here. And I think there's two kind of breakfast things I want to mention. One, if you can get into the pancake pantry and get any of their creative pancakes, it's worth the wait. That's one thing. Second thing, if you're looking for something a bit faster, a little more handheld, there's actually some really good donut places when you are here. Five Daughters Bakery with their cronut, I guess the croissant donut, that's awesome. Donut Distillery's got these little mini donuts that are really good. Josephine's, there's a lot of different donut places for you to enjoy, so you have that. And I think it's important to mention, if you are going to be here and you aren't going to be able to drive around to go out to Prince's or Hattie B's or Donut Distillery, there's this place called the Assembly Food Hall on Broadway where a lot of the famous eateries around town have kind of like a kiosk in there. And no, they don't have the full menu, but it can give you a taste of the food from those places. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be as good. I think it's about 80% of the way there. But if you want Prince's, hot chicken, you can get it there. The tenders, you can get that there. There's a Hattie B's there. You can get the mini donuts from Donut Distillery. You can get a taste of it without having to drive out to some of these places, okay? So I hope this helps you know a few things to eat and drink when you're here in Nashville. Today we're here in Franklin, Tennessee, an easy 30-minute drive south of Broadway on Nashville. One of the cute towns you really should visit if you're doing a trip to Nashville and you're gonna stay some time. You're going to want to come to Franklin because there's some really nice things to do here, but there's also things you don't want to do when you're here, and that's why today we have a quick video on the don'ts of visiting Franklin, Tennessee. And I'm going to tell you, my first don't for you is don't pass up a spot to park if you see one on Main Street. Because you know how you like to drive around, oh, we'll find a better spot to go see the cute little shops that are here or go to the restaurants that are here. No. Parking is a premium here in Franklin. This place has exploded over the last few years with all the growth of Nashville. This is one of the most popular towns for people to come to because it's so cute, and you got Main Street with the shops and all those things, but man, parking is not fun, so don't skip a spot if you see one. Now, if you can't find one, which is probably gonna be more common, there are a couple parking garages here. You got one on 4th Street, but if you're having a really tough time, probably the parking garage on 2nd Street is gonna be your better option for a place to actually find a place to park to go and explore when you're here. And when you're going around, don't forget to go into the shops when you are here, because you'll see a bunch of cute shops and you'll wanna do window shopping. But you know what? Go inside, because you get to meet some of the artists. You get to meet the people that really started up those stores. You feel like you're with the creators of the products that sells their products a lot more than if you go to like a Best Buy or Walmart where you're just a person paying. So that's one of the things I like when I'm here. So don't forget to do that window shopping, but go inside to shop as well. Now, when you are walking around Franklin, or if you're anywhere around Franklin, one thing I'm going to tell you, don't forget to make reservations at night for some of the great restaurants around here, okay? And it's not just on the weekends. This place, I mean, it's boomed. The thing is, the city has gotten a lot larger over the years, but the number of restaurants have not grown in proportion, so you do have to make reservations. Otherwise, you might have a 4:45 dinner, which is okay with grandma sometimes, but maybe not for your romantic evening in Franklin, okay? So don't forget to make those reservations. Back to those shop kind of things, and this is not just on Main Street, but another thing I have to say, if you're coming to Franklin, don't be surprised if you get sucked into an antique store, because Franklin, antiques are kind of a thing here, and so you're going to see different stores that have them. Go in, check it out. Just, make sure maybe leave your wallet in the car, because you're like, that's pretty cool. Maybe I do need that. It's very easy to separate your money from you when you're here in Franklin, and that's another thing. Don't think Franklin's a cheap town, and I'm not just talking about buying the real estate. Wow, that's not even going there. You are going to spend some money when you do come here, so have a heads up. And I think I should tell you, if you're looking to go shopping and you're not looking at boutiques, you're looking for more like bigger stores you're used to, or you're looking more chain restaurants, you're looking for a place to go. Actually, if you go to Cool Springs, just right up the way, that's another place to find some place to eat that's relatively close to here without having to go all the way into Nashville, okay? And I think one thing is important for travelers when you do come here is don't be afraid to use Franklin as your base to go enjoy Nashville and all the great stuff around Nashville. Yes, it's a 30-minute to 45-minute, depending on traffic, let's say 35-minute drive to Broadway. So you can go enjoy all the good stuff in Nashville. The Country Music Hall of Fame, going out on Broadway, seeing the music there, going to see the museums, exploring around the area, and then you could come stay here in a smaller community, which is kind of a fun thing to do, especially if you're not gonna be like, I'm going crazy, I'm going out till 4 a.m. on Broadway. If you're more going out with friends, this is a nice place to go. But I will say this, don't expect us to find a lot of hotel options, especially in downtown Franklin. Now, there is a really nice hotel here, but a nice hotel, it is a bit pricey. So if you do want to stay in Franklin, you're probably going to be doing the Airbnb or VRBO stays, apartment rentals. That's going to be your better option to find something. And there are some that are right here downtown, but for those, you really have to book ahead, especially if it's going to be a weekend, because this is a popular weekend destination. Now, when you are here, there is a place you might pass by and you're thinking, wow, what's that old factory? Well, the old factory is the factory. And I want to say this, don't think the factory is actually a factory. It used to be, but what it is now is the collection of shops and snack places. There's pizzeria there. You can get $5 bakery. Oh, their donuts or cronuts. Go get some. You'll see there'll be a line there. You'll go, there'll be a line. It's worth the wait. But there's all kinds of little things in there. You can kind of go and explore, see some of the artists' store and talk to them. And again, it goes back to the thing I like about shopping in Franklin. You actually get to meet the people that sometimes are creating the work, or just talking that gets much more them than just somebody working there, which is really nice. But the factory, I like going there just to like wander around and grab a snack, so that's a nice thing too. Also, if you're here on a Saturday, don't forget the farmers market is at the factory on Saturday morning, so you can check that out. Now, another thing you should realize is there's actually some historic stuff you can actually see when you are here, and the tourism board here is actually quite helpful, because one thing I want to tell you is don't forget your phone when you go to see some of the sites around town, because there's a phone number you can call, and then you put in, like, we were at one of the cemeteries, like £4 a pound, and it gave you an audio guide of the cemetery. And so they have this audio guide. You can just call up and get that for free, you know, just going around to learn more about the sites around here. Because yes, you can go see Civil War battlefields, you can go see cemeteries that are here. It's really kind of a nice thing. And so you can do that. And that's one thing I liked, that, wow, I don't have to download anything. I just call a number and push the location, and they have a nice, really nice explanation of the area. So don't forget your phone when you're going to the sites. And don't forget those Civil War battlefields, the cemeteries. Also, just driving around, there's a lot of beautiful, quaint homes that are here. They've done a very good job of restoring a lot of the homes too. So it's a nice place to be. And when you are in Franklin, you know, this is a nice area. So there's a lot of nice places you can go when you are here. And one thing my friends are going to take us to later is actually Leaper's Fork. And I would say this, don't leap over Leaper's Fork. That's actually, you got a couple blocks there with some nice little boutiques, but that's where like the country music, like superstars live and have their homes. So you'll drive around and do your own little, oh, is that where Winona lives? Is that where's Darlie's house? Is she around here? What's going on? You might see a few Lambos and Ferraris going by when you're here. Yeah, country music, there's some people that made a little bit of money in that, and you could go to Leaper's Fork and see their house when you're there. But overall, this is just a quick video because this is a cute little town you can visit just outside of Nashville. I mean, if you want to go see the other sites around here, you can do that, but just coming to Franklin, we're just staying in Franklin for the weekend just to enjoy it and relax. And I mean, if you go to like Leaper's Fork, there's a distillery there you can go to as well. I mean, you can have a nice little time just relaxing, walking around. And I thought it was a good idea with all the hustle and bustle and craziness of Nashville, when you go there, to have something more relaxing when you're here, because there's parks you can go to as well. Today we're on the top of the Peabody Hotel here in Memphis, Tennessee. You got the mighty Mississippi behind me, got the Peabody sign, and around the corner are the Peabody Ducks. And today what we have for you are the 10 things that shock tourists when they come here to Memphis. And there's a lot of cool shocks, there's a lot of crazy shocks, there's just a lot of little fun things that you need to know before you come here. And the first thing that's going to shock you, and it's going to be dealing with here in the Peabody, is ducks will make you turn into a 5-year-old kid. Yes, the Peabody Ducks, actually, they walk them out from here. They'll walk across the stage here, or walk across the balcony here, go downstairs in the elevator. They do a whole ceremony to get the ducks down at 11 o'clock in the morning. They take them down every day, and the ducks swim around the fountains, and then at 5 o'clock, they roll out the red carpet again and take them out and bring them back up here. But the thing is, it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity, or if you're a local, or if you're a tourist. When they come down and they do the duck march, you're like, oh, there's ducks! And you act like a total fool, and it's shocking how it'll change just a simple tourist that wants to be cool and do, oh look, there's walking ducks. So it is kind of a cool thing. But as the first shocking thing I do love about coming here is seeing the faces of the people at the Peabody when the ducks come down. It doesn't matter if you're old, if you're young, if you're middle-aged, if you're whatever. It's one of those fun things you really should do when you come here, okay? Now, the second thing that's going to shock you when you come here to Memphis is Beale Street. And if you're not sure what Beale Street is, that's the music street, that's the party street, that's the street where you can actually drink alcohol on the street. Yes, shock number 2 is you can drink on Beale Street, like actually on the street. Now, for those of you that don't know, in the US, we have pretty strict drinking laws and open container laws. So if you're like walking around with a beer or a whiskey or a wine on a normal street, you can get cited by the police. I mean, that's like getting arrested and getting in trouble that way. You know, you can't do that. But here, you can. Like, wait, I could take my beer out? Yeah, it's in a plastic cup. You can go walk on Beale Street, have a good time, go from a bar to see another one and drink and listen to music and stuff like that. And it's really, really cool. Now, the bars might not let you bring somebody else's beer in, but you can walk down, and the music on Beale Street that's playing all the time. Yes, B.B. King's, I go there with my buddies. He's a local. We go listen to music there, but there's so many music choices, so many things to do, and you can drink on the street. It is really cool. I will say, though, there's like barriers on 2 ends of Beale Street. It's pedestrian only. You'll see the kids doing the flips and stuff like that, which is cool. But outside those barriers, you can't drink on the street, okay? So it's only that one little part. So just a heads up for that one. Now, the third thing that's going to shock you when you come here, especially if you come from June through August, is the heat and the humidity. Look, you know how some places just have heat or dry heat, and some places have a little humidity? Well, here in Memphis, you get both. Insane heat in the summer and insane humidity to go along with it. So you can be freaking miserable in June, July, and August when you are here. That's why the best times to come. Memphis in May, there's all the barbecue festivals in, there's all kinds of concerts, all kinds of great stuff. That's a great time to come. September, October, there's all kinds of festivals then. But in the summer, oh my God. I mean, it is just brutal. I mean, you need to wear an undershirt. I'm doing this at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I'm not just drenched with sweat while I do this. So just be ready for it and don't complain. You're coming to Memphis. It is hot, it is humid, and it's awesome, okay? Now, the fourth thing that's gonna shock you when you come here is when you go to Graceland, the home of Elvis Presley. Yes, his home, you can go do a tour of that and see all the 70s kitsch that's there. I mean, it is pretty cool to check out. You're like, wow, that dude liked having TVs everywhere. And the jungle room and his TV room and all this kind of stuff downstairs. It's crazy. And the thing is, they just opened up a huge new expanded museum there. So you can go see this pink Cadillac. You can see his jumpsuits that he wore all over the place. And it's insane how much Elvis stuff there is around town, but also how much music stuff there is. You know, the Stax Museum is a great museum to see. You can go to Sun Studios where Elvis made some of his music. You have this really cool music scene, but Graceland is just crazy how Elvis-y it is. And to go along with the shocks with Graceland is the price. Wow. The price to go into Graceland. If you're a true Elvis fan, you'll love it. If you're not a true Elvis fan, you're gonna be scared to death when you see those prices. It can be a bit pricey going in there. Now, they have to keep all that stuff up, so I understand why it's expensive, but man, that price there is a bit crazy, okay? Now, the fifth thing that's gonna shock you when you come here is actually one of the museums I really recommend you go see. It's the National Civil Rights Museum here in Memphis. It's actually in the Lorraine Hotel where Martin Luther King was assassinated. It is one of the best museums in the United States, and it tells a really amazing story and the trials and tribulations of the civil rights movement in the US, and it has pieces from civil rights history throughout the US. I mean, it is just truly an amazing place to go, and I will tell you, it is a very moving museum when you go through. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just remembering going there, and I really recommend you to go see it, but you'll be shocked how moved you are when you go. Like, my God, you can actually go in the room where the assassin was there and shot him from, and you can see where this was, and you see the stories, you hear the stories, and all these kind of things. It is such a really great and interactive kind of stuff there. I mean, it's one of the top, honestly, one of the top museums in the country, but you'll be shocked how great the museum is, but also how moving and how touching it is when you go there. So definitely check it out. Now, the next thing that's going to shock you when you come here is how friendly the people here in Memphis are. I mean, this is, we're in the South now, and the people love that Southern hospitality. So if you're not sure where a site is or where a place is, just ask somebody. They'll gladly tell you, and then keep talking and give you a history and tell about how their cousin was there, their aunt was there, and oh, when you are there, you should eat this food when you're there. And it's crazy because the people will give you recommendations and help you out so much. And the thing is, the best, just ask them, hey, what's the best barbecue place to go? And they will all argue with each other, okay? They'll be like, no, Central's the best. No, Rendezvous's a classic. No, Corky's is this one. Or, it's just like the barbecue shop. And there's all these things. There's over 100 barbecue places in Memphis. I mean, if you don't like one barbecue, find another one. You'll love it, okay? And you might be a little shocked at the ribs here. They're fantastic, but there's no sauce. They do a dry rub on it. But yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. But man, those people, they are so friendly and so helpful. It really makes it a great experience because as a tourist, you might go to the zoo. Okay, the zoo here is fantastic with the pandas, and you're not sure where should I go. The people that work there are helpful, but also the other Memphis people, because the Memphis people go out and explore Beale Street. They go to the zoo, they go to these things, they love the art scene, and they want to help tourists have a better time when they're here. So you have this great hospitality and friendliness here that's just shocking how great it is when you do come. And speaking of that barbecue and food, the next shock I have for you is how much awesome food you will have when you are here. Yes, barbecue is the de facto Memphis eat. Yes, the dry rub ribs and the pulled pork with the slaw on top, and have that as a sandwich. It's amazing, but there's more than just barbecue when you're here. I know, also shocking. There's great soul food, there's great Asian food, there's all kinds of great places to go. You want a burger? Go grab one of Huey's. You want to have some donuts? Man, Gibson's Donuts, oh my God. Their maple and bacon donut, it is to die for, okay? And there's so much great food to have when you're here, and in crazy portion sizes. And that's one thing that just shocks me. It's like, man, I didn't think I could eat barbecue for 6 days straight, but I could eat barbecue for 6 days straight. That's so good. Gus's fried chicken, man, I've had that 3 times already when I've been here for like 4 days so far. There's so many good places to go, and honestly, just ask any Memphis person. They'll tell you, oh, go this place, go to that place, check this one out. There's so many nice things out there to eat and to enjoy. Oh, it's great. And that doesn't even get into the drinking when you're here. Oh man, they have really great water here, and everyone will tell you that. And so they've got some new breweries coming out. I like Wiseacre myself, also Ghost River Brewery. Those are my two favorite ones out here so far. I've been to Crosstown as well. I mean, there's a lot of these out here. And you're like, man, all this stuff is really booming down here. So it is kind of a cool thing. And that's what makes it so great for tourists to come here. And the thing is as much as I talk about how much I really love being here in Memphis, there are some other shocks that aren't so good, but we'll go to another part of the city to show you that, because there's the tent shock is one thing that you gotta see to believe, all right? Now, the 8th thing that's gonna shock you when you do come here to Memphis is, since there are a lot of tourists that come here because it is a really cool city, you will see a lot of beggars on the street, especially if you're down on Beale and downtown areas. And, you know, because there's so many people there, they're drinking, you know, when you're drinking, you're giving out a little bit more money. And the thing is, don't be too freaked out about the beggars when you are there. Just tell them, hey, no, sorry, man. And they'll usually leave you alone. But the thing is there's just so many that will come and ask you or come and chat with you or hop in your picture actually to help come and chat with you. And the people here in Memphis are so friendly, you don't realize they're about to beg for money. So that is one thing that kind of shocks you. It's like, wait, I didn't think that guy was going to beg. I thought he was just nice. No, there are some here. So just say, hey, sorry, man. And usually they're pretty cool about it. Another thing I want you to know that might shock when you come here is Memphis actually does have kind of a high crime rate in certain parts of town. And so it is kind of a hit and miss in areas, because some areas are totally fine. And then like 2 streets later, it's not so fine. So do pay attention when you are driving around and going to different places. You know, if you're downtown late at night, I mean, just like any downtown in the world, downtown late at night, usually not the safest place to be, so have a heads up for that. So one of the areas you might watch out for is, I know everyone loves Elvis, and so you come here, you want to see Graceland and all those kind of things. I would say the area around Graceland's a bit run down, so you might not feel super like okay being around there, but if you're going to Graceland, the parking's fine there. Just make sure you're putting your stuff away. And that's anywhere actually here in Memphis, is make sure if you're parking your car, do not have anything of value out, okay? Make sure that's away. If you're going to your hotel, take it with you to your hotel room, put it in there, these kind of things. And when you're walking around, you know, don't flash your money out. If you are going to give money to some of the beggars and stuff like that, don't like open your wallet out and just have the things there. You know, just normal common sense kind of safety stuff would be important when you are here, okay? And then the 10th thing that's going to shock you when you come here to Memphis, and the reason why I'm standing outside of this amazing huge pyramid, or I should say Bass Pro Shop, yes, the pyramid, where they used to play basketball, professional basketball was here, college basketball was here, concerts were here, all kinds of stuff, is now the most insane Bass Pro Shop. I mean, they have an elevator that goes to the top. You can go up there. They have freaking alligators in there, live alligators that you can see. Yes, they have lakes with fish flying around. Oh, you want to shoot some guns? Yes, there's a shooting range there as well. You want to have something for the kids? Well, they've got bowling. They even make their own candy there. And it's funny, my buddy Mike's like, Mark, you got to check this place out. I'm like, it's a Bass Pro Shop. Who cares? Like, no, dude, you just have to see it to believe it. I'm like, whatever. And I walked in and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. It was like shocking. I'm like, you really have to come see it. I mean, I know it's silly to say a Bass Pro Shop in a pyramid, but there's a hotel in there too. There's restaurants in there too. I mean, it's crazy. So definitely come and check it out, but you will be shocked when you go inside going, what the heck? It is pretty cool. Anyway, this is one of my many, many visits here to Memphis. It is a great city to visit. It's shockingly great. Great for partying, great for eating. The people are awesome when you come here. I really hope you will visit. I know I love it. I come here all the time. My goddaughter's here. And I come even because, if not just because she's here, but because I got great people. It is such a fantastic place. From the zoo, go see the Pink Palace, all kinds of great stuff. Now, I hope you enjoyed Memphis, Tennessee. And today what we have for you are the 5 things you gotta eat and enjoy when you come here to Memphis. Now, obviously you probably don't want to eat in the middle of the street, so let's go have probably the most famous and tastiest things of visiting and eating here in Memphis. And the first thing you have to have when you come to Memphis is barbecue. Dry rub ribs and pulled pork. It's not brisket here, it's the pork you gotta have. And we're here at the Rendezvous. This is the one that's probably the most famous one you can go to. There's tons of other great barbecue places, Central Barbecue, Corky's, all kinds of stuff. But I love coming here to the Rendezvous downtown and the rub on the ribs. Well, it's really a non-stop thing. But when you come here, you're going into barbecue places. Yes, get the ribs, get the pulled pork, but start off with a sausage and cheese plate. Oh, and another thing is, you do see some of the sauce, but that's for the pulled pork. When it comes to the ribs, we just do dry rub here in Memphis, okay? So, we're gonna go to next for some more barbecue tastiness on our 5 eats in Memphis. So the second thing you gotta have when you do come here to Memphis is attached to the barbecue. It's having barbecue in a few different ways. One thing, if you go to the Central Barbecue, they have there are barbecue nachos, which is tortilla chips, the nacho cheese, then pulled pork and jalapenos on top. That's really good. Or if you want something a little bit even more different, there's actually barbecue spaghetti, or it's spaghetti noodles, and then instead of marinara, it's barbecue sauce, and instead of ground beef, it's pulled pork, okay? So you can have that. So that could be something you want to have for number 2. But number 3, we're going to go to is one of my personal favorites. So the third thing you have to have when you come here to Memphis is Gus's fried chicken. Look at this, look at this. It's so delicious. You have to get it. And the thing is, there's not just the one downtown with a huge line that you go, man, is it really that worth it to wait in line that long? Well, yes, it is. But the thing is, if you're coming out to East Memphis, you can grab some here. And guess what's cool? Number 4 on our list is just right down the street. So just down the street, like I said, look, there's Gus's right over there. But right here, there's more Gus's. But the thing is there's only one Gibson's Donuts here in Memphis. You gotta get one. And their maple bacon donut. Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. These guys are awesome. They're super friendly. They support the local community. It's awesome. And they make awesome donuts. So that's why. 4th thing to have, Gibson's Donuts, because oh my God. Oh my God, it's so good. I can't think about number 5. I'm sorry. Okay. There's just, oh my God. And the 5th thing you have to have when you come to Elvis's hometown is an Elvis classic. The toasted peanut butter and banana sandwich. He loved it, and you will too. These actually are pretty good. You make them at home. But I mean, heck, we're in Memphis. You gotta have a peanut butter and banana sandwich. Kind of hard to say when you got it in your mouth. Anyway, let's finish this one off. And as a bonus and a sign off, we've got a little extra thing here for you. Now, when you talk to locals, they'll tell you about how proud they are of their water here in Memphis. It actually is really pure and clean, and yes, you can drink the tap water, no problem. But what's great about that great tap water they have here is that it makes really great local beer. So if you get a chance, check out some of the local breweries and microbrews around town. There's some tap rooms, all kinds of stuff for you to enjoy. So go out, have a few local beers while you're at it, and they'll go really, really well with some of the great food you've been talking about. Maybe not the donuts, but the stuff we've been having here. So if you do go out to the restaurants, you go out to these places, make sure you do ask, hey, you got something local? Because the local beer is great. So that's just a little extra thing at the end. And we're in Nashville, Tennessee, the home of country music, Music City, USA, and it is a fun place to go and have a good time. And today what we have for you are the 5 things you're going to love and hate about visiting Nashville. Now, let's get started because you know I like the bad news to get it out of the way first. First thing you're not going to like about Nashville is you do come here and you're heading on Broadway where all the bars are and all the fun times happen. There are a lot of drunk people there, and it does get a bit annoying if you're trying to have a good time with your friends when you keep running into drunk 65-year-old guys hitting on you and your wife, or bachelorette parties getting a little out of control. I mean, it's a lot of people having a good time, but if you're coming with your kids, just be prepared. There might be a few drunks along the way down on Broadway, but for the music that's there, I think it's well worth it. The second thing you might not like about coming to Nashville is the driving. For some reason, when you come into Nashville, especially from the Northeast on 24, it's like a 2-lane highway. And you're like, wait a minute, this is like multi-million people's city. I mean, this is a big city. And it's like a 2-lane highway, or 4-lane highways, because 2 on both sides, coming in. Now, it's not as bad as Atlanta or St. Louis, but I just want you to be prepared when you're coming into town. Be ready for a lot of stop and go traffic. Also, when you drive downtown, there's lots of 2-lane roads. But what's cool is, if you're driving around during the day, the traffic in the downtown area, not so bad. And on the weekends, totally nothing to worry about, okay? So, first thing you're not gonna like, the drunks down on Broadway. Second thing, driving around the big kind of area here and dealing with that. So, the third thing you're not gonna like about coming to Nashville is the lack of a really good public transportation system. And you'll see when you come downtown, if you stay and you wanna go to Broadway or these other places, a lot of your hotels actually will have shuttle service for you because there isn't really great public transportation here. So if you want to head out to the Grand Ole Opry or something like that, you're going to have to take a taxi. If you want to go to Broadway, take the shuttle from your hotel or just walk down there. But just, you know, for such a big city, it's grown so fast. Unfortunately, I guess the public transportation system hasn't quite kept up with the growth of the city. So that might be the third thing you might not like. What we do is I put the car in the parking lot and then we just walk around the downtown. During the day, it's safe, you're fine. In the afternoon and evening, sometimes it leads to the fourth thing you might not like about coming to Nashville is sometimes you don't feel super safe when you're here. Now, I will say, when you're downtown, you don't see a lot of bums and beggars and things like that. Near, like when work gets out 5 or 6, some of them do come out, especially here at the War Plaza. But I will say, the Nashville police have a pretty good relationship with the homeless and the beggars and stuff like that. So it's not really, they're not bothering you, they're more like bother each other. And so it's not really too worrisome, so don't get too scared about it. Just keep your eyes open and know that the cops they're around to help you out, things like that. But it shouldn't be a real problem. But the crime thing you do want to pay attention to, so make sure you're locking your car and all the basic stuff you want to do when you do come out to a tourist place like this. Because yes, there are pickpockets on Broadway and there are other issues you might want to look out for, but just know sometimes you might feel a little uncomfortable with some of the beggars and things like that. But don't worry, cops have a good relationship with them, usually pretty okay. Now, the fifth thing you might not like about coming to Nashville is a lot of people come here because it's the country music capital. Well, you should know this, it's one of the music capitals of the US, and it's not just country. I mean, a lot of people come to Nashville thinking, oh, Southern hospitality and country music all the time and country food. Yes, you do get that a lot of times, but not all the time. I mean, literally, I think I've seen more hipsters here than I have seen country music stars, okay? So if you're coming expecting the full Southern package like in Savannah or Charleston, it doesn't necessarily have the whole Southern package. It does have a lot. The people are very friendly out here and the food is good, but just know you're just as likely to see a hipster walking around with a beard, wait a minute, and his man bun. Oh my God, I'm one of them. You're just as likely to see them playing the music and doing things as you are a country kid, okay? So that's one thing I think some tourists get disappointed in is they're expecting everything to be kind of country, and it's not. It's a very metropolitan city, and it is really cool to check out, but just know you might be disappointed when it's not all country. There is tons of country stuff, don't get me wrong, but that's might be some people are kind of surprised at is sometimes it's not always the Southern hospitality and it's not always, you know, somebody from the back country doing things for you, okay? It's a big city for people all over the country, all over the world coming here, okay? So those are the things you're gonna not love so much about Nashville. And listen, I'll be honest, I've had a good time here. We've been here for a long weekend, enjoying it, taking in the music and all kinds of stuff. And so I want to share some of the good points about coming here, because when you come here, you see it's not as international for tourism and things like that as you see in other places in the US. So it does give a definitely different vibe than if you're going to Chicago or New York or places like that. So it does give a nice little, you know, microcosm of some of the Mid-South, okay? Anyway, so what are you gonna love when you're here? The first thing you're gonna love is actually going down to Broadway. Yes, there's a drunk there, but going down to Broadway and listening to the live music. I mean, literally every bar has live music. I was there at 4 in the afternoon today, live music playing everywhere, drinking some beers, listening to the bands play. It is awesome, and that's the first thing you're doing, is going down to Broadway, listen to the music, hitting the bars. Eating down there is fantastic as well, all kinds of great stuff. The second thing you're gonna love about coming here is, since Nashville is the capital of country music, they have amazing shows here. And yes, that means you can go out to the Grand Ole Opry. Yes, the Grand Ole Opry, that's here. You know, you thought it was kind of a joke or it wasn't a real thing. No, Grand Ole Opry really exists, and it's here in Nashville. And you can go look and watch some of the shows there. Big time artists come and play here quite often. So the second thing you're gonna love is all the great shows that do come here. If you wanna get tickets, check out Ticketmaster or some of the many venues that are here, because there are tons and tons of venues to watch live music and big time concerts, so it is kind of cool. The third thing you're gonna like about when you come here is all the museums that are here in Nashville and the history of Nashville. I mean, it is the state capital, so you have the State Museum of Tennessee that has art and history and all kinds of stuff. You got the state capitol behind me to check out. You got the War Memorial here, the War Memorial Plaza to check out. Going downtown and walking across the bridge and coming back to that, finding all the great restaurants, all these things. There's just so many cool things to do when you're here. And the museums, yes, there is the history side, but then there's the fun side. Like I said, the capital of country music, the Country Music Hall of Fame is here in Nashville. And it was actually really cool. I'm not the hugest country music fan in the world. I enjoy my songs about drinking and having a good time with my buddies. But going to the Country Music Hall of Fame gives you a better impression of country music and a new appreciation of it, and it's well worth checking out. And there's all kinds of other places you can go see. You can go see the Johnny Cash Museum if you want to go see that. So that's the third thing you're going to love, is all the other cultural things aside from music that's here. The fourth thing you're going to love about coming to Nashville is literally Nashville is a big city in kind of an enclosed space. And when you go up there, I'm in a hotel right here downtown. I have a view of this behind me, and behind there, all you see are rolling hills of trees. There is nature all over the place when you come here. So you can go hiking, you can go horseback riding, you can go out and explore and do all kinds of things outdoors, which sometimes you don't get to do in a big city. And that's one thing that's cool here, is you can be living in a big city and visiting a big city with the music and the culture and all this kind of fun stuff, but also you can get out into the nature and experience more of the real Tennessee. I mean, this is the Tennessee capital, and you can see some of the beauty of Tennessee as well. And the fifth thing you're going to love about coming here is, I'll be honest, we are in the South, and yes, it is the food. And what's cool about coming to Nashville is there's a lot of different influences here, because people come from all over the U.S. to kind of start their country music career, and they bring food from all over the U.S. But so you're not just stuck with Southern fare, but honestly you should eat ribs and eat the Southern fare when you're here, because it is great. But there's lots of different kind of restaurants here. All really good time to eat, enjoy, and have a fun time. Oh, and with that eating, if you're gonna eat something here, make sure you have the hot chicken. I mean, it is spicy chicken, just so you know that. Fried up and just fantastic. But just know, if you're not used to the spice, it might be a little bit of a shocker to you, but it is fantastic. I had it the other night on Broadway, and oh my God, it was so good. And the barbecue. I mean, the food is really good here, okay? So that's why it's the fifth thing you're gonna love when you do come here, okay? So those are the 5 things you're gonna love and hate, or at least that I love and hate about coming to Nashville. What are some of the things that you love and hate? Please put it in the comment section below so we can have more input. And we love when locals put their 5 love and hates in here to give us tourists a better idea of how the locals enjoy the city and what they really love about it, so we can get more stuff in there. Music City, USA, that's the Tennessee state capital here behind me. And today what we have for you are basically some of the things you can see and do when you are here in Nashville. I mean, it is the capital of Tennessee, so you got a lot of really cool state things here. You got the State Museum of Tennessee, which is cool to check out, where history and art kind of come together. You've got, I mean, if you like music, the Country Music Hall of Fame is here. Well, we're checking out, cool design, all kinds of stuff. Johnny Cash, maybe you like musicians, they got a Johnny Cash museum here. Also though, if you come here, what you really want to do is enjoy the music, and you're going to head to Broadway. That's where you're going to have bars lined up down the road, both sides of the road, with live music, drinking, partying, bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, crazy times, but fun times as well here in Nashville. So check out Broadway for the music, the live music. Or if you want to go for a bigger show, of course you got the Grand Ole Opry, a little bit out of town, but well worth checking out. Also, if you want to see a little bit more history, if the Tennessee State Museum isn't enough, they have President Andrew Jackson's Hermitage here, so you can go and check that out for the history side of things. And there's all kinds of fun little museums around here, whether it's art, or you can go to the War Museum here in Tennessee, or you can go, if you're by the Grand Ole Opry, there's actually a Willie Nelson Museum, and my personal favorite, a Dukes of Hazzard Cooters Museum. Yes, by far the coolest t-shirt you will buy in Nashville. But there's all kinds of great stuff to do here. Go down, head down to the riverfront for a jog, go for a walk with the kids, go see some the Predators, the hockey team here. Lots of great stuff to see and do here. Very easy to get around, really some cool architecture to check out. Head down to Printer's Alley so you can see that. Really great time. If you're looking for a historic place to go see a show, the Ryman Auditorium, where bluegrass and country music kind of got its start, one of the most famous places here in Nashville to play. You can go to the Ryman Auditorium. They have shows all the time, so you can kind of do that. If you want to be a little more historic, you can go to the Mead Plantation, a little bit out of town, to see, you know, the plantation setting. Remember, one of the things you're going to love is getting out into the nature around Nashville, because it's not just the city. There's so many beautiful things out there. And you can go to the plantation, the meat plantation, to check that out. And if you like other outdoor activities, you've got the Cheekwood Gardens or Botanical Gardens out there in a museum you can check out. If you want to have a little bit more historical or kind of copies of history, go to the Vanderbilt University campus and go see the Parthenon there. You know, you think, wait, isn't that in Greece? Yes, the original's in Greece. And so, no, my Nashville fans, that is not the original. The original one's in Greece. They have a replica here in Nashville. It's kind of a cool thing to check out when you are here. And one of the things you should do when you do come here is eat. The food is really good. They've got people from all over the US that's come to Nashville, and they've brought their cuisine. But first off, the Southern fare is the best stuff to have when you're here. Barbecue and things like that. But the dish you really have to have is the hot chicken. Yes, it's hot as in spicy fried chicken. It is really good. I had it the other night on Broadway, and it was like, oh, hot, but so good. It's like, I shouldn't eat more. I know I'm fat, but you know, I couldn't eat. My tongue saying stop, but it was so good. It would say more, and you really enjoy that when you're here. Anyway, that's just a little quick little video about some of the things I like to do when I come to Nashville. What do you love about Nashville? What do you like to see? Please put it in the comments section below so more tourists can have a better idea of what they should see when they do come to Nashville, because not a lot of people are stopping by, but they really should. Whether it's for the music, the great food, or the really nice people, it's well worth checking out. Anyway, if you want to learn more about visiting Tennessee or Memphis on the other side of the state or other places in the US, check us out on our website at woltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and we appreciate all your likes and subscriptions, and we hope you have a great time here in Nashville, because honestly, it's a pretty fun place to come. And definitely go listen to some live music and have a few beers and just enjoy the atmosphere down on Broadway or anywhere in town, because the music just comes alive here. Today I have a local celebrity here in Memphis. Well, actually, they're back there. But this is Anthony Petrina. He's the duck master here at the Peabody in Memphis. Really great old-fashioned hotel to come check out that they're remodeling, so it's actually this cool inside and outside. Definitely worth staying if you are coming here. But the thing is, when you come to Memphis, what's the one thing everyone has to do?
See the Peabody Ducks.
That's right, see the Peabody Ducks. And this dude knows everything you can ask or ever want to know about the ducks. And he's not just a pretty face. This guy's got some personality, all kinds of great stuff. So you come here, it's like a show when the ducks come. But people would like to know is, when are the ducks here, or how long they've been here for? And
sure.
What should I know?
The ducks themselves are a tradition going back 85 years as of 2018. So since 1933 here in Memphis. We have an old tradition where they march. I've trained the ducks to march on a red carpet out from the elevators, right through the lobby into the fountain right here, where, as you can tell, they have a very active day. They sit around, hang out in the fountain, entertain the guests as they pass in through in and out the city. Then at 5 o'clock this afternoon, I'll roll the red carpet, and the ducks will, in the same pomp and circumstance, just the other direction, head on back up to their $200,000 granite-lined Royal Duck Palace here at the hotel.
So I heard a rumor that the ducks get to work in the penthouse, and you were working in the basement?
Yes. They live at the very tip top. I'm down in the very base bottom. We meet here in the lobby every day. Yep.
And what's great is you'll see the people on it. The themes are the ducks. So if you're looking for like souvenirs and stuff, the ducks are the way to go. My kids have got literally the duck stick, think about the rubber duckies, all kinds of stuff, the shirts, all kinds of things. And the first one comes at 11, right?
Right. Yeah, they come down at 11. 11 o'clock on the dot too. These are. Well, they're not early birds. 11 o'clock is pretty easy for everyone to get. They are very punctual. Very important.
And so, is it every day that's here, or is it like Monday through Friday?
Or? No, every single day.
Oh, it's every single day.
Holidays, weekends, my birthday, every single day. So, well, they work every day. There's a part-time duck master, Doug, who will come in and do this for us on my days off. But the ducks themselves, they'll do it every day for 3 months, 90 days, that's it. After that, they go back to the family who raised them. They've been raising ducks for since 1981, and I got to start from scratch, retrain a whole new crew. Once the newbies are set up and doing well, I will start working down here, and the veterans get to head on home. That's pretty nice gig for a duck.
Very cool. And so, as a local that's here and helping out, what are some things that people should think about here in Memphis? You know, aside from staying at the Peabody, of course.
Sure.
You know, and the restaurants that are here.
Of course.
So, is there things like what like? There's one thing I gotta have when I come here to Memphis to eat. Like, what's the big thing?
When people think of Memphis, when they think of food, they think of barbecue. And there are, just in the area, fantastic barbecue restaurants. Just if you can walk through, if you're Superman, you can walk through the elevators, you would be halfway to the famous Rendezvous restaurant, like right now. If you go on down to Beale Street, you can go to Blue City Cafe, fantastic barbecue there. But when I was in college, I have a degree in hotel management from the University of Memphis. I actually studied at the hotel. Some of the big staff, the general manager and all them, they taught my intro class, and all that was wonderful. I did not get to study anything duck related, so nothing actually prepared me for this job. It was mostly on-the-job training. But when I was
an animal person.
Yeah, animal person, a people person, and some strange fusion of the two with these ducks. But when I was in college, I would go between downtown and the University of Memphis. I'd always go to Central Barbecue, and that was my very favorite barbecue spot here in town. And while there is a Central Barbecue here downtown now, way down by the Civil Rights Museum, which you actually absolutely should see.
That is one of the best museums in the country. I mean, if you're coming to the U.S. and you're in the Midwest, you got to go see it. It is amazing.
We're in the Mid-South, so it's quite the commute from the Midwest. But that's okay, that's okay.
So people are like,
it's worth it. It's worth it. Drive all the way from Michigan, get on down here. But when
I drove from Illinois. So.
There you go. But when when you come on to Memphis, any local is going to tell you their opinion on what the best barbecue is, and every Memphian has their opinion. Most are wrong. It is actually Central Barbecue that's the best, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, we've had about 6 or 7 fans write us say, no, it's not Central. It's that Corey.
It's this one.
It's not right. It's this one back over here. And I'm like, all right, I just had to try them all.
There you go. A proper compromise.
Yeah, I like that. Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate you talking to us. And if you want to come stay at the Peabody, you can. It's a great place. But Memphis is a great city. It's the downtown district, Beale Street with the blues and everything. It's just a fun time to go. And what's cool is you want to see the ducks. This isn't just for like little kids. Like it's old people, young people, famous people, not famous people. Everybody loves to come see
Infamous people.
Infamous people. like Anthony here, the duck master. I was good.
Hey, it's not a humble job title, but it's a good one. It's a good one. And what you were saying is exactly true. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, where you're from. If you want to come see the ducks walk here at the hotel.
It's okay.
Y'all are fine.
Oh, okay. It's okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, where you're from. You'll probably end up here in the lobby watching some ducks waddle on a red carpet. It's one of those good things.
Yeah, and you turn into a little kid too, because you're like, oh, I want to watch them. So it is really cool. So thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And I appreciate you and the Duck Master here, and I appreciate the Peabody letting us do this. And thank you to the ducks. Also, don't feed the ducks. Don't put coins in there. None of those things, because they are trained professionals. Okay, so
don't pet professionals. You don't want to feed the professionals out of your hand. It's rude. Oh, and they're on salary, so they don't take the coins. That's tips. That's the whole IRS thing.
Yeah, that gets painful. Today we have a very special guest. We got Milton from Memphis Tourism here to help us know a bit more about visiting Memphis, because this is an awesome town, and this guy, he knows. He's worked. Where have all you worked? You were at the...
So I spent most of my time working for the Memphis Convention Business Bureau the last 11 years, but I took a stint to open Bass Pro Shop at the Pyramid.
Yeah, and the Bass Pro Shop isn't a Bass Pro... It's a Bass Pro Shop, but it's like... It's something that people say you got to go see, and then when you see it, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. They say, yeah, I just told you that, but it's amazing. You could go up it and all kinds of
well, some consider the Bass Pro Shop of the Pyramid to be one of the 10th largest pyramids in the world.
Yeah.
Has the tallest freestanding elevator in the nation. It's about 300 feet above the ground. Has a glass observation deck where you can see Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee, because you're in Tennessee, but you can look across the river and see Arkansas, and you can see the treetops of Mississippi.
Yeah. What's cool is that like you could look through the floor when you're at like on the observation decks. There's a restaurant up there. It was kind of cool, but the whole thing, I mean, they had alligators and it was really cool. Yeah. And then you also were down at Graceland when you first started, right? Or by there?
So I started out working in tourism at the Memphis Welcome Center, which is right a mile from Graceland.
Yeah. So this guy knows. This guy knows. He knows a lot. So for first-time travelers coming to Memphis, what are like the 3 or 4 things that are like the most key things to see? We decided for the Bass Pro Shop we just talked about, but what are some of the really key things? I know the things I love, but I'd like to hear from a local's perspective.
Okay. So the first thing that pops in my mind immediately is we're known for music. So you can probably hear a little bit of it right now in the video. We have Courtney Little performing upstairs. But the music, Beale Street. So you've got to go to Beale Street. Head over to BB King's where you can catch some really great R&B, soul music, blues music. And Beale Street is great any night of the week. So you got to do the music, or hit one of our music attractions and learn about how Memphis has influenced music around the world. So you can go to Sun Studios and learn about Johnny Cash, Elvis. You can go to Stax Records, Stax Museum of American Soul Music, where you can hear about Otis Redding, the Barcades, and Stax and how it's influenced soul music. You can go to the Rock and Soul Museum. You can go to the Memphis Blues Hall of Fame, the Memphis Music Hall of Fame. So there's music.
So there's a few things to see.
So music fits in like one category. Then you can do a little bit of history.
Yeah.
Go to the National Civil Rights Museum.
That's amazing.
You know, where we've just celebrated this year, 2018, the 50th commemoration of Dr. Martin Luther King. So you have the National Civil Rights Museum where he was assassinated at the Lorraine Motel. So you can visit that and learn a lot there. And then you have other things like, obviously, can't forget about Graceland. You know exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about the home of Elvis, the home of the King. And so Graceland just went through a major renovation last year. They've just opened up Elvis Presley's Memphis, which is a huge entertainment complex that shows his career and his life and legacy in the most excellent way possible. You have the car museum, you have his career exhibit, and so many more things.
Yeah, his clothes, the
clothes.
jumpsuits. The jumpsuits were the best. The jumpsuits were like so awesome.
Yeah, and don't forget about the wonderful airplanes. And then they've opened up also at Graceland, the guest house at Graceland, 450 room hotel where you can actually stay on next door to the mansion itself.
That's pretty cool. Okay, so there's blues music, there's other kind of music, there's the Civil Rights Museum, all this awesome stuff. But what about a man of my stature?
Okay.
I need to work on keeping my masculine figure. What are some of the things I gotta have when I'm here?
Okay, so we're gonna forget about our figures.
Yes.
We're gonna
I already have.
We're gonna eat everything possible.
Yep.
So you're gonna eat everything possible and drink everything possible.
Yeah.
So number one, eating wise, you're gonna do things like barbecue. We're known for barbecue. We have over 100 barbecue restaurants. You know, I can name a few, but you know, we got the Rendezvous, the Central, the A&R, Cozy Corner, Corky's. I mean, I can go on and on. Central. I mean, you know, or if you don't want to do the barbecue, do some Gus's fried chicken, which you see right over here.
And there's more locations, just that one. You got one in East Memphis too. There's all kinds of good ones.
Yes, Gus's has also branched out from Memphis. They have some in different cities as well.
Austin,
but you need to come to Memphis and try where it starts.
I've had other business.
You need to come to Memphis first, and then you can do the others. And then don't forget about our wonderful our drinks. Have drinks in Memphis. You can come and catch you a beverage at Old Dominic.
We're actually outside Old Dominic's Distillery, celebrating their first year open.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, it's not just 1 year old. It's actually like 150 years old or something.
Yes,
I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. You come and check out their vodkas and their whiskeys and stuff like that. That was really cool. Yeah. And then I noticed when I was driving around town, so I've been coming here for a few years. My goddaughter lives here, so I visit her. And when I've come the last few years, I've saw all these microbreweries and tap rooms popping up. Is this kind of a big thing here?
It is. Well, for one thing, I've been told, you know, some of the brewer, the makers and the leaders in there have told me that, you know, having one best water, one best places for water in the world, which Memphis does, our artesian well, is great for that sort of thing.
Don't need to buy bottled water here. You'll be fine with tap water.
So with that, you do have some great breweries. Like you have Ghost River, High Cotton, Wiseacre, you have Crosstown Brewery. I mean, there's several more that I'm forgetting to mention. Memphis Made. If I forget anybody,
I'll do my research and I'll find some more out there.
You know, so there are definitely several breweries that you can choose from here.
And then, so over the years when I've been coming here, it seems like there's festivals going on all the time. So what are some like the big festivals people need to think about if they want to come?
So we have tons of festivals throughout the year. So one of my favorite ones I would say that picks up is going to be the Beale Street Music Festival. The Beale Street Music Festival, actually, correction, Memphis in May, which is under the umbrella of Beale Street Music Festival, which umbrella the Beale Street Music Festival sits under that umbrella. So Memphis in May. In the month of May, you have the first weekend of Beale Street Music Festivals where you have a variety of different artists coming to Memphis performing right on the river. The second weekend, we salute a different country every year, so you can learn some of those cultural activities for that particular country. Then the third weekend is going to be the Barbecue Championship Competition. So you can come here and learn about you can come here and watch the individuals from around the world come and compete for that championship title when it comes to barbecue. We've had people from as far as Australia to come here to compete. Awesome. And you also have that last weekend is called 901 Fest. And so 901 Fest is an event that's catered toward locals. So your local musicians, local food vendors, so everything local. So Memphis in May is the best time to come to Memphis in May. But then you have some other great festivals like the River Arts Festival that's coming up. You have Memphis Fest, which actually is coming up. And so Memphis Fest is going to be this coming fall. So will River Arts Festival. So those are 2 more events. Or Cooper Young Festival. Let me not forget about that.
I said, they just keep coming.
This weekend's actually Italian festival. There's so many things. There's the festival season. The months are typically going to be April and May, and then it's going to be September and October.
Cool.
Those are like literally every weekend, every other day, or something. There's something for you to do festival-wise on those weekends.
Awesome. That's awesome. Well, thanks for your help. Is there anything like last things you want to tell people about coming to Memphis?
The last thing, coming to Memphis, just get here and the fun will happen for you naturally. Just get
so
here.
True. It is an awesome time.
Yeah.
And the people are super awesome. That's one thing I love about coming here, because you know where you want to go, you don't want to see, you meet around guys, say, hey, help me out here, and it'll help you out. And that's what's great. The people are awesome, the food is awesome, the partying's awesome, the music's awesome museums. The zoo. Oh, I didn't even talk about the zoo. They have pandas.
We do have pandas.
They have pandas at the zoo here. I've been to some fundraisers there before. A really amazing zoo to check out. I mean, there's just so much cool stuff to check out here. So, thank you, Milton. I appreciate
Thank you for coming.
all your help. Thank you.
You come to listen to some blues music, eat some barbecue, and have a good old time. Now, Memphis, we're going to give you the top 10 things you should see and do when you're here in this awesome town. So the top 10 sounds to check out in the southern United States, and if you love music, this is the place to go. Let's go through our top 10 things to do here in Memphis. Number 1, right here on Beale Street. This is where you come and you can listen to blues music, eat barbecue, walk around where they sell big-ass beers, pardon the language, but it says it on the sign. You can walk around. It's one of the 3 or 4 places in the U.S. you can actually walk around and have a drink on the street. So, Beale Street, really fun. That's the first thing you should come and check out. Number 2 that you should check out, the Civil Rights Museum here in Memphis is amazing. It's in the hotel where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. The museum is wonderful. It has a very in-depth collection of stuff. You should really check it out when you're here. Number 3, you want to go to the Peabody Hotel and see the ducks walk by. They have their ducks on the very top of the building. When they come down their elevator, they cordon it off. The ducks come walking through the hotel. It's really cool for kids. You come watch the ducks go around. Also, if you go to the top of the Peabody, there's a beautiful view of the city, of the Mississippi River and the city to check out. Very cool. Number 4, and things you should check out when you're here, is Graceland. Guys, Memphis is Elvis's hometown, and he was here for a long time, and all of his stuff is still here. You can head out to Graceland, see his home, see his planes, see his cars. It can be a little expensive, you see everything, but you can divide up. I just want to see the house, or I just want to see the plane. But it is really cool, and if you're an Elvis fan, it's a must to go see. Been there a couple of times. I wanted to grow sideburns just for this trip. It's a fun thing. Elvis is everywhere in this town. Number 5 and things you should do. Go to Mud Island. It's an island on the Mississippi River, and here right downtown. And what they have in there is a miniature of the Mississippi River and the Gulf of Mexico there. They have concerts there, swimming pools, all kinds of stuff. Really nice to take the kids there and just kind of relax and have fun out there. Okay? Number 6. You want to listen to some blues music and eat barbecue, or put those together, because you can go to a lot of barbecue places and they'll have some live blues music at night. If you're just going for some barbecue, you're going to have some dry rub ribs. The Rendezvous is really nice, kind of by the Peabody Hotel. There's all kinds of other places. The Rum Boogie Cafe here on Beale Street is a good place to get some barbecue pulled pork and hear some really great blues music. So that's number 6, eating barbecue and listening to some blues. Okay? Number 7, and things you want to see. I'm a big guitar kind of guy, so Gibson has a factory here, and you can actually go on a Gibson tour and see them make Gibson guitars. And right across the street from it is the Rock and Soul Museum, so you can get kind of 2 for 1, if you will, and things to see right by each other. If you like music and want to learn more about how they make guitars and some of the rock and soul history of here in Memphis, okay, and from other places. Number 8, and things to do, another music thing, is Sun Studio. That's where Elvis, recorded his stuff. You can go out to Sun Studio, you can see the actual original recording studio right in the shop. It's really kind of a cool thing to check out. You go out there, it's really nice. All right. Number 9, and what you should do, you go out to a place called Overton Park. Overton Park is beautiful. There's lots of kind of stately homes to go see. There's the Brooks Museum, which is an art museum, which has like stuff from Charles Schultz, the guy that did Charlie Brown, and all kinds of other things out there. It's kind of cool to check out. But the coolest thing to go out and see at Overton Park is the zoo. The zoo, they've got panda bears out there. Go check it out. It's a very nice zoo. And the number 10 thing you should see when you're here in Memphis, Tennessee, the home of Elvis, is the Pink Palace Museum and Planetarium. Now, I'm sure you say Pink Palace, that sounds naughty. Now, the Pink Palace is the home of the founder of Piggly Wiggly. That was his home he built up. And then you go inside, it's now a museum, a cultural history museum and a natural history museum. It's kind of cool to go in. They have kind of an original Piggly Wiggly redone inside. And it's an amazing, amazing structure, amazing building to check out. So the top 10 things to see here in Memphis. 1, Beale Street. 2, the Civil Rights Museum. 3, the Peabody Hotel and their ducks. 4, Graceland. 5, Mud Island. 6, eating barbecue and listening to the blues. Number 7, the Gibson Beale Street Showcase and the Rock and Soul Museum. Number 8, Sun Studios. Number 9, Overton Park with the zoo and the Brooks Museum. And number 10, the Pink Palace Museum and Planetarium on Beale Street. One of the coolest cities you want to check out in the southern United States. So if you're traveling around the South U.S., definitely check it out, and this is the place to go. Beale Street's the place to go, have some drinks, eat some barbecue, and have a good time. Now, Memphis is a really cool tourist town to check out. I mean, it's the home of Elvis and all kinds of stuff. But just like any town you go to, there's stuff you're going to love and you're going to hate about when you come here. So for my international guests that are coming to the U.S. to check it out, here are the 5 things you're going to love and hate about visiting Memphis, Tennessee in the U.S. Now, I always like to start with the bad news first. So we're going to start with the 5 things you're probably going to, maybe not hate, but are going to annoy you when you're here. And the first one is, guys, it's the summer right now. We're here in August. It's about 98 degrees, 110 in the heat index, and I'm about to die. Luckily, I haven't been sweating because I just got out of the car, but I will be. The heat here in the summer can be oppressive, so be careful with that. So make sure you stay watered up and all kinds of stuff to have a good time, not to get too overheated. Second thing you might not like too much about Memphis is finding cheap, affordable accommodation in the downtown. You can find accommodation pricey or upper and medium price, but it can get a little bit difficult to find at certain times. So make sure you book ahead, look for deals, because frankly, it is hard to find something. If you're going to be in a Western or a Peabody, which is going to be an upper price range. Otherwise, you're going to be across the river in Arkansas, or way out of town, and this is where you want to be on Beale Street to have a good time. The third thing you're not going to like too much about Memphis is driving in Memphis and parking here. Downtown, there's not a lot of parking spots, but there's enough here, all kinds of stuff. Driving around, if you're on a 40 or 240 driving around the city, it does get a little crazy because they have a lot of left exits and diversions and stuff like that, so it can be a pain in the ass, okay? Fourth thing you're not going to like too much about it is crime. This is the FBI ranks this as the second highest or second most dangerous city in the United States for violent crime, but if you stay in Beale, stuff like that, it's not really a big problem. Just make sure you stay in the right areas. Fifth thing that's probably going to bother when you're here, it happens, there's a lot of guys asking for money and stuff like that, but they're always really nice. It's not really a big deal. You just say, no thanks, leave you alone. It's really good. It's fine. There's all kinds of funny kind of begging guys too. There's also kids doing backflips to give money, so there's all kinds of interesting stuff out here. Now those are the things that might annoy you when you're here in Memphis. Now the 5 things you're going to love about Memphis, okay? First thing you're going to love is the blues music. You can hear in the background, the clubs, the bars have live music here, and the blues, this is the home of the blues here, guys. B.B. King's right down the street. It is great to come here and have a great time, drink some and listen to blues music. It is awesome. Second thing you want to do when you're in Memphis, you want to eat barbecue. Barbecue pork, barbecue ribs, whatever barbecue. Memphis has got amazing barbecue here. That's number 2 thing you're going to love about it, eating here. Third thing you're going to love about it is the people. Guys, the people here in Memphis are amazing. I love the South of the U.S. because everyone's so nice. And here in Memphis, everybody's great. People you meet on the street, in the bars, the restaurants, the shops, everyone is great. And you're really going to like that about Memphis. Okay? The fourth thing you're going to love about here is, guys, this is the home of Elvis. So you got Graceland, you got Elvis and stuff. You got all kinds of things you're going to love to check out just for Elvis. So if you're an Elvis fan, this is the place you got to be. And the fifth place you want to go is just being here on Beale, having a good time, drinking some drinks. One of the 4 places in the U.S. I think you can actually drink on the street. It's Memphis out on Beale. It's a great place. Just get they call it big ass beer. It's all over the place. You get one, walk around, enjoy the music, all kinds of stuff. So again, 5 things you're going to love and hate. First thing, 5 things you're going to hate: the oppressive heat in the summer, finding cheap accommodation, driving in Memphis, guys begging. As number 4, number 5 would be the crime. But those kind of not that bad. 5 things you're really going to hate though. Love the blues music, the barbecue, the people here, all the Elvis stuff, and being here on Beale Street. So guys, if you're in Memphis, if you're thinking about driving through the middle of the U.S. or the South, definitely check out Memphis. It is a great town to have a good time in. All kinds of things to see. Check out our other videos, the top 10 sites in Memphis. Have a great one. Enjoy the things. I think I'm going to go try to find Elvis because I know he's still around here somewhere. So have a good one. Bye.